All right. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday, January 26th. Hard to believe we are almost at the end of the month once again. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This is Coach Nate from Foods for Health. Thank you. I'm just getting the background ready here. So if you see me moving the screen in the background, or if you see me move here just a little bit, then you know why. But thanks again, everyone. Just give me a quick sec as I play around with this here. That should be pretty good right there. And we should be live. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. That'd be greatly appreciated as always. So yeah, I think that's looking good right there. All right, so again, back at it, back for another stream. Looks like we got everything going here. Perfect. All right, so exciting morning. Nice and early. Currently, it's just after 7 a.m. here at my time. Let me know what time it is for you. Now, you guys are going to be seeing me going back and forth from screen to screen today. All right, because you guys are going to be, again, I have my camera switched into another position. I thought it'd be better over here. All right, just so I wasn't always constantly turning each and every time I was trying to answer one of your questions. All right, so we moved the camera. We got the mic set up a little bit different. And so if I'm going back and forth, turning my head just a little bit, it's only because you guys are on a totally different screen from the one that I usually do most of my setup from. Christine, good morning to you. Good to have you in chat already, right here from the very beginning. Thank you so much. And again, I really appreciate you guys coming in so early. Thank you already for the thumbs up. Coming in so early on a Wednesday at 7 a.m. Really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. So what we're going to talk about today, all right, super, super important topic. All right, I know a lot of individuals, if we look at the data, a lot of individuals who are dealing with, conditions such as heartburn, acid reflux, all right, or Gerd, all right, as it is sometimes referred to, all right. So we just want to make sure that we're going over some of the reasons why it might be occurring, some of the foods that we can eat to help relieve, all right, Gerd, heartburn, acid reflux. Remember, for Gerd, just gastroesophageal reflux disease, all right, when we're speaking about Gerd, that's usually if we're having heartburn, acid reflux more than a couple times a week. That's when we probably want to speak with our medical practitioner, but there could be some reasons why that's occurring, and that's going to be one of the things that we discuss today, why we might be having acid reflux, why we might be dealing with heartburn and things of that nature. So we'll go into a big discussion on that. Volume is a little low. I have my volume all the way up to here. Let me see if I can do anything. It might be... I'll try to talk a little bit louder. Right now I have my volume maxed all the way up. If anyone else is having a problem or an issue, let me know. But my volume is maxed up all the way, Christine. So I'll try to speak a little bit louder. Maybe I'll speak into the mic a little bit. All right, I'm kind of tall. That's the thing. I was trying to set my chair. I'm about 6'3", just over 6'3". So sitting into the chair and then having the mic right in front of my face, all right, is a little bit tough for me sometimes. But I'll try to do my best. I'll speak as loud as I can. That way you guys can hear me. Now, the other important thing, I finally completed my ebook, all right, our nutrition guide. So I want to make sure that I discuss that. All right, we'll save that at some point here, all right, and I can show you guys exactly what you're going to be getting. Right, and we'll go over that nutrition guide just a little bit. But I want to make sure that we get into a really good discussion on heartburn, on Gerd, on acid reflux, things that are probably going to be affecting about 1 in 5 individuals in the United States taken together. It's the most common gastrointestinal sort of ailment right now. So we want to make sure that we speak about it. All right, acid reflux, heartburn, Gerd, probably the most common out of all of them. You have like diverticulitis, you have inflammatory bowel disease, irritable bowel disease. All right, heartburn, acid reflux, Gerd, everything sort of in that little subgenre is probably your most common for sure. It's like 20%, sometimes as high as 25%, just depending on the types of foods that we're eating on a day-to-day basis. Eileen, good morning to you from Florida. Always great to have you, Eileen. Thank you so much for joining. Volume is good? Okay, perfect. Like I said, I'm going to try to talk a little bit louder here. All right, get myself right. The mic, as you can see, the mic is literally right in front of my face, so I can't get it any closer than I can right now. But I will try to speak up, of course, all right, so that you guys can hear. So let's make sure that we have a good discussion on this topic. Again, something that, if we are dealing with heartburn, acid reflux, GERD, things of that nature, it's just going to make day-to-day living, all right, for one, all right, it's not going to be very fun. It's going to complicate our day, all right? It's going to, affect the foods that we're eating or even the frequency that we eat at, all right, and it can be ongoing, all right? We could get it, again, based on the foods, or we could have chronic, all right? If we're dealing with it more than, twice, 3 times a week, that's maybe when we want to speak with someone. If we don't know what the main cause is, maybe speak with our medical practitioner and try to figure out what's causing that. All right. But there are some foods that we're going to want to avoid. All right. Some things that we're going to want to avoid as well. All right. So we'll talk about some of those lifestyle changes. All right, now let me just point out really quickly here, all right, because one thing when it comes to acid reflux with heartburn, and I know this type of diet is very, very popular, all right, like with intermittent fasting and everything like that. All right, intermittent fasting, of course, when we're avoiding eating, when we're sticking to our eating window, say if it's, an 8-hour window, a 4-hour window, a 6-hour window, whatever it is, all right, we're avoiding eating, all right, until that window closes, all right. Your stomach is still going to be producing digestive juices, all right, and enzymes, so stomach acid, all right, which we would otherwise use, all right, to digest food. So what can be happening if you are on an intermittent fasting diet, all right, we have an empty stomach, the acid starts to accumulate in the stomach, all right, and it cannot be used for the digestive process like it normally would, all right. Those digestive juices, stomach acid, all right, would be used for the digestive process to start breaking down food, all right. Now, once we have this, we have an excess, all right, or buildup of stomach acid, okay? And so when we have this buildup, what can often happen is it can start to travel up to the esophagus, and this is when we're going to start dealing with issues like heartburn, all right, acid reflux, and things of that nature, where we get that burning sensation in the chest, discomfort, chest and throat, all right? So just make sure that we're aware of that as well, because I know intermittent fasting is a very, very popular diet right now. So individuals who are eating for, let's say, 16, 18 hours, this is going to be something very, very common for them, or at least more common, all right, if you're eating less frequent. Now, let me guys know, once you come in, all right, and we start rolling in here, thank you so much again. I see we're already double-digit thumbs up. All right, thank you so much. All right, once you guys come in, let me know where you're listening from. All right, let me know if you can hear and everything sounds good. All right, would love to know where you're listening from. Pamela, thank you so much for joining me today, for joining us on stream. Really appreciate it. Hope the camera looks good. Hope the sound is sounding okay. All right. As Eileen pointed out, volume is good. Okay, that's perfect. Great. That's what we want. Again, it's a new setup. The camera's on at a different angle and the mic's in a different position. So it's just going to, again, when we do the face streams and everything like that, it just takes a little bit more effort, all right, a little bit more time, all right, just to make sure everything is set up good. All right, I want to make sure, one, I'm on stream. Again, I was saying before, being 6'3", a little bit taller, all right, sometimes it can be hard to fit myself in, all right, make sure I'm not too far off to the side, all right, or at least having the mic high enough, all right, so that you can hear me. All right, so it takes just a little bit more time, but I think we got it figured out now, and I really appreciate you guys all coming in. So like I said, GERD, heartburn, acid reflux, are going to be, presenting itself to about 20% of the population. All right, that's American statistics, but pretty common, all right, pretty much the same worldwide. Here in Canada, very, very similar. It's like 17 to 20%. It's the most common, all right, digestive related ailment, all right, digestive related issue, all right. There's other ones like we've talked about: irritable bowel disease, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, colitis, all of those other issues. But GERD, heartburn, is the most common. And again, that's because it's going to be affected by a lot of the life choices that we make, and also a lot of the foods that we make, all right, or that we eat, all right. A lot of the times, all right, the foods, all right, we can have what's called trigger foods, all right, foods that we're going to want to avoid. You need to know what your trigger foods are, all right. We also need to know what helpful foods are for us, all right. What helpful foods are for us and what's going to help to prevent, all right, or at least reduce the symptoms of heartburn, of GERD, of all of that stuff. That's the one thing about heartburn. If you're dealing with heartburn, a lot of times people will take antacids, things of that nature. You know, they'll be having those quite commonly, right? But there's things that we can do with our diet and switch that up. Stay away from certain foods, all right? Make different life choices. Like, and when I say that, you know, sometimes it can be as simple as, you know, making sure after you eat, all right, we're not immediately lying down, all right, allowing ourselves to digest the food that we're eating, all right, before we continue to move on with our day. Okay, so again, if you have any, our topic for today, all right, is heartburn and GERD. But if you have any questions at all right, related to nutrition, fitness, anything else, please feel more than comfortable, all right, to ask those questions also. Remember, it's an open forum here, so I'll be more than happy to answer your questions, guys. Okay. Don't forget, the foods that we eat are gonna affect the amount of stomach acid, all right, that we have, the amount of stomach acid that is being produced, all right. So eating the right kind of foods, like I said, all right, helpful foods versus trigger foods is going to be helpful in controlling both acid reflux, heartburn, all right, and GERD. GERD usually a little bit more severe. The reason why they call, all right, and they separate heartburn and acid reflux with GERD is because GERD would be, you know, a type of more severe type of acid reflux, just because it's more chronic than acute, all right. So you're having it a couple times a week, maybe it's showing itself a few times a month, all right. So GERD would be more of your chronic acid reflux, all right, whereas we might have heartburn after eating, you know, a spicy meal or something like that. So just keep that in mind, all right. We'll make sure that we separate. Rupo, great to see you in chat. Thank you so much. Good health and healthy eating. Thank you very much, Rupal. I appreciate it. Healthy eating to you as well. Good health to you as well, my friend. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for coming in. Christine, Eileen, Pamela, Rupal, everyone else who's been coming in. I really appreciate it. I hope the volume's good. All right, like I said, when we have the face streams, all right, it's always going to be a little bit different. It's always going to, you know, it's always going to take a little bit more finesse, as I like to put it, making sure the mic's in the right place, making sure my seat's in the right place as someone who's 6'3", 6'3 and a half, right? Making sure that microphone's in the right place, and, you know, making sure the camera's okay too. So let's just keep that in mind, guys. Acid reflux, right, usually is going to occur, right, when there's acid backflow, all right, from the stomach into the esophagus. All right, so acid reflux, heartburn's occurring, all right, when there's an acid backflow, all right, which comes from the stomach up into the esophagus. All right, again, this is what's going to be creating heartburn. All right, so that's why you'll hear me go back and forth with acid reflux, heartburn, things of that nature. But just know it's from volume's good. Perfect, Rupal. Thank you for letting me know, my friend. All right, but just know, all right, with all of these conditions, all right, all under the same umbrella, right? It's just acid backflow, so an excess of stomach acid, all right, of digestive juices, like we mentioned previously, all right, that's coming from the stomach and entering up into the esophagus. That's where that heartburn, very, very uncomfortable, is going to be coming from, all right? So we want to make sure that we're eating foods to prevent this, all right? And, you know, also, volume is perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. So again, this is why you'll hear me talking, and then sometimes I'll look over. It's just because you guys are on a different screen here. So thank you so much, guys, for the feedback. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. All right. So Foods that we eat can affect the amount of acid that our stomach produces. That's why we have to eat the right kinds of foods, all right? Know our helpful foods, all right? Know what our trigger foods are, all right? So there's different types of things. We also need those lifestyle tips, all right? The lifestyle tips are very, very important, all right? I think can't go underestimated, all right? So if we're thinking about some lifestyle tips, all right, again, maintaining a healthy weight is a good one, all right? Avoiding alcohol, stopping smoking, all right? Don't overeat, things of that nature, all right? Again, not lying down after you eat, all right? Things that are very, very simple. Allow yourself to let those digestives do their work, all right? Those digestive juices, the stomach acid to do its work, all right? That way we don't have an excess of those juices, all right, of that acid, all right? Allow it to do its work, all right? And then we can continue on with the rest of our day, all right? The other thing is be careful when you're eating on an empty stomach, all right? If we're eating on an empty stomach, right, then we can increase the risk of heartburn. The reason why is we have that excess stomach acid, all right, that's not being used, all right, to break down food like it normally would, all right, be used for the digestive process, all right? So that's another thing that's quite common when we're dealing with heartburn or with GERD, okay? And that's when you're really going to have acid from the stomach start to travel up into the esophagus, all right, causing pain, discomfort, that burning feeling, all right, especially when you're eating on an empty stomach. What are some trigger foods? Well, again, we talked about spicy foods. Other ones are citrus fruits, all right, things of that nature. Sorry as I have my morning coffee here. And again, feel free to ask your questions, guys. We want to make sure that's an open forum for us today. All right, so again, some trigger foods, foods to avoid, all right? A big one for a lot of people, all right, we just want to make sure that we're staying away from saturated fats and trans fats, okay? So I wrote down some ones, all right, that can be an issue for some people, all right? High fat foods, especially high saturated, high trans fats. All right, those are going to be the ones that we want to stay away from. Healthy fats are okay. We can deal with healthy fats. Those can help, all right? But just make sure that we're eating the right amount of fat and the correct fat. Remember, the correct fat is our monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, omega-3s, omega-6s. Our bad is our saturated and our unsaturated, our trans fats. All right, so saturated fats and trans fats. Make sure we're staying away from that, all right? Of course, processed foods, all right? If we're having a lot of processed foods, if we're eating, a lot of sugar, all right, again, that's going to negatively affect heartburn, could lead to GERD, again, which is just a more severe type, all right? And we say severe because it's a chronic type of heartburn of acid reflux, okay? So just be on the lookout for that. Your high-fat foods, your classics, bacon, all right, full fat, all right, say we're having ice cream and potato chips or anything like that, all right, more of those processed foods, greasy foods, oily foods, where you have high trans fats, we're going to want to stay away from those. So the first thing that I would suggest to you, if you are dealing with heartburn, with acid reflux, with GERD, all right, try to reduce processed fast foods. All right, those are going to be high in saturated and trans fats, low in healthy fats. All right, and again, we already mentioned our healthy fats, mono, poly, omega-3, and omega-6s. All right, and then other things that might cause it is red meat. All right, so surprising to some people, all right, we might have to cut back on things like beef, pork, lamb would be another one. All right, we might have to cut back on those foods. Red meat can be a little bit tough on the digestive system, a little bit tough on breaking down food, all right, and increasing stomach acid. More will have to be just for the digestive process, have more digestive juices to break down those foods, all right? So we're at greater risk, we're putting ourselves at greater risk of reflux symptoms by eating those types of foods, guys, especially if we're doing it on a daily basis, all right? So we don't necessarily need to decrease or eat a low-fat diet. Let's take that into consideration. We're not saying that we have to eat a low-fat diet. Maybe speak with your medical practitioner, all right, and see if you might temporarily have to do something low-fat. But I'm not suggesting that you have a low-fat diet. What I'm suggesting is stay away from high-fat foods that are high in saturated and trans fats, okay? And if we're doing that, all right, so if we're staying away from processed foods, fast foods, all right, you know, like your bacon, French fries, you know, even, you know, to a certain extent, full-fat dairy products. All right, we want to make sure that we're limiting those as opposed to your healthy fats, your avocados, olive oil. The list goes on and on. Nuts and seeds. All right, we could be here for 30 minutes listing healthy foods. So I would just make sure that you limit bad fats, all right, and stick to good fats. Kaz, great to have you in chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate having you in here. All right, let me get to your question, my friend. Hi, is citrus fruit like grapefruit and oranges first thing in the morning okay to have? Thank you from Manchester, UK. Great having you from Manchester. All right, awesome. I love hearing that. I believe it's 12:22 where you are, Kaz. So thank you so much for joining. All right, so here's the thing. If you're dealing with Gerd, with heartburn, with acid reflux, okay, let's say that you're not, then citrus fruits are fine, like grapefruit, oranges, lemons, you're okay with that. But if you are dealing with heartburn and with Gerd, first thing in the morning, especially like on an empty stomach, all right, we just slept the whole night, maybe we didn't eat for a few hours even before bed, maybe if we're having an intermittent fasting diet, all right, I would be careful, all right, because we know citrus fruits and also things like nightshades like tomatoes, all right, but I know your specific question is citrus fruit. Citrus fruits can certainly, all right, worsen, all right, heartburn, worsen acid reflux, and make it more frequent, okay? Why? Because they're high in acidity, all right? So there's a number of ones that I wrote down. Grapefruit and oranges are certainly on the list, all right? I would also say lemons can be a little bit tough, and then tomatoes can be a little bit tough, all right? Is it okay to have them if you're not dealing with heartburn or you're not dealing with Gerd? Absolutely. I like grapefruit right in the morning. I think grapefruit in the morning is great. All right. Naringenin, all right, two compounds that are found in grapefruit that are very, very healthy. All right. And very, very tough to find in other foods. All right. So it's going to be two compounds that are specifically found in grapefruit. So if you are dealing with Gerd or heartburn, then I would make sure, right, you're trying to reduce grapefruit, citrus fruits, and oranges first thing in the morning, especially, all right. If you're having those citrus fruits on an empty stomach, it can worsen. It can be a trigger food for Gerd, all right. If you're not dealing with any of those issues, Kaz, then it's absolutely fine. I myself, I don't have any issues with it. I love grapefruit. I've mentioned this on some streams before. I love grapefruit in the morning. One of the more underrated citrus fruits, in my opinion. But just be careful. If you're dealing with heartburn, watch out for citrus fruits. Watch out for certain nightshades, tomatoes, things of that nature, spicy foods, especially in the morning. Sonia, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate having you in here, Sonia. As always, huge supporter of the channel. Really appreciate you, Sonia. Thank you so much, and good morning to you. So, Kaz, I hope that helps answer your question, my friend. If you're dealing with Gerd, heartburn-related symptoms, careful of the citrus fruits, all right? It's only going to make acid reflux. It can increase the frequency of acid reflux, all right? And because of their high acidity, due to their high acidic fruits, all right, so we need to make sure that we're keeping them under control. Maybe after a meal especially, all right, you can have them maybe a little bit later in the day, but I would just be careful, all right, if you're starting out your day and you're dealing with heartburn and acid reflux, I would be a little bit careful with that, okay? So great question, great question. It can be a trigger food for a lot of people, all right? Trigger foods, those citrus fruits, tomatoes, and things like that. We already talked about those high processed, unhealthy, saturated, and trans fats, all right? We want to stay away from those as well. Perfect, Kaz. Great to hear. All right, excellent question. All right, because grapefruit is growing in popularity first thing in the morning. That's when I have my grapefruit, or if I'm going to have grapefruit, it's always first thing in the morning with my oatmeal, with my eggs. All right, if I'm usually that's the meal that I'm having. If I don't put anything in my oatmeal, so say I don't put any, I might put blueberries or apples or things of that nature. But you can see, all right, those types of foods aren't quite acidic as your citrus fruits. All right, so you can play around just a little bit. Right, like apples, blueberries, and oatmeal. It's gonna make it a little bit easier. Fortunately, I don't have heartburn. Never really have. So I like to have that grapefruit first thing in the morning if I'm gonna have it. But just be careful if you are dealing with those symptoms. All right. Now, some other ones that you're going to want to be careful, some trigger foods. All right. You hear me espouse all the time how great I think garlic is. All right. And onions. All right. Garlic and onions, I think, are amazing foods. All right. Super healthy. They have their own specific compounds. All right. Like garlic will have sulfur compounds. It also have allicin. All right. Tremendous antioxidant. All right, powerful antioxidant that isn't found in a lot of other foods. All right, so garlic is tremendous, onion is tremendous. But the thing is, they can trigger heartburn symptoms for many individuals. All right, garlic, onions, spicy foods. All right, especially if you're eating a lot of them. All right, just keep track. Make sure your kind of food. This is why I like mindful eating. All right. Know what you're having, know what might be a trigger for you. Garlic could be a trigger. All right, it is for, a good proportion of individuals who are dealing with Gerd, who are dealing with heartburn symptoms. Same thing with onions. If we want to get those foods in, we can still have them in moderation. All right, but spicy foods might be something that we need to cut back. Garlic and onions, things of that nature. All right. The other one, all right, that a lot of people are having is dark chocolate. Can actually be sort of a trigger food for a lot of people. I know a lot of individuals and people who I coach and do consultations with will have 85% to 90, even 90%, sometimes higher, like a 95%. All right, but you'll start to see it show up in dark chocolate. All right. Sometimes as low as 80%. A lot of my clients, all right, don't do too well with 85% to 90%. All right, they sort of have. That's when they start to get acid reflux, heartburn. All right, they notice those GERD type symptoms, so a little bit more chronic. All right, be careful with dark chocolate and things like that. Just because of some of the compounds, I won't get too specific into them. All right, a lot of them are like, if I was to read them out, there are words that are this long, all right? But be careful of dark chocolate, just with some of the compounds that are in them can help kind of increase the risk and increase the frequency of heartburn, all right? Especially in the morning, all right? Again, on an empty stomach, all right? Or if you're on intermittent fasting, on an empty stomach, we need to be careful, especially of these foods. All right, so those are some trigger foods for you guys, all right? Processed foods, right? High fat foods that are high in saturated fats, in trans fats, citrus fruits, all right? Nightshades, dark chocolate, garlic, onions, all right? And spicy foods seem to be the big one, all right? Spicy foods seem to be the big one. I know we don't always have that in the morning, all right? But sometimes, all right, even turmeric can sort of spur that on. So if we're adding turmeric to a morning smoothie, all right, we might be increasing our chances. All right, now we can kind of combat that a little bit when we talk about the foods that we can call helpful foods, all right, for heartburn. All right, these are our trigger foods. Foods we'll want to avoid if we're dealing with GERD, especially chronic heartburn and acid reflux. All right, but even if we're dealing with it on a more common basis, a couple times a week, a couple times a month, all right, we'll want to make sure that we avoid those trigger foods as best we can, or at least kind of time it during the day, all right? Because I'd hate to tell you guys, all right, never eat garlic, never eat onions, all right? Never have citrus fruits, all right? So we can time it a little bit better around our helpful foods, around making sure that we're not having it on an empty stomach, right? And then making some of the lifestyle changes that we're going to talk about a little bit today. So thank you for that question, Kaz. If anyone else has any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer them. And I hope that I'm coming in loud and clear. You have someone who's 6'3" trying to get this mic right in front of his face. So hopefully the volume's good. Hopefully you guys can hear me nice and clear. Seems like we're pretty good now. I haven't seen anyone mention it before. Nitan, thank you so much. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing very well. It's great to see you back in chat. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining me so early. All right, like I said, these face streams. All right, I love doing the face streams. We're gonna start doing more videos with my face on it. All right, and start really breaking down different types of things like GERD. All right, what's the main cause. All right, just like we're doing today, but break it down in shorter type videos. All right, where my face is on it. All right, I'll have things written down. I saw your guys voting. All right, in our little poll that we did, we had almost 70 people vote, which is awesome. All right, some people like to see a mix of the videos that we're doing now and then having myself on it. So about 2/3 of individuals wanted myself on those videos. I think it's a great idea. All right, so we can start to do that as well. But good morning to you, Nitan. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, just really quickly before we get into some of the foods that can help with relieving, all right, heartburn, GERD, acid reflux, all right, some of our helpful foods, all right, or have shown to be helpful for some individuals, most individuals. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll have, without managing our diet, what a lot of times people will do, all right, I hate to say this, and I bring it up for a specific reason. We're not really making too much of a lifestyle change, all right, if we're taking antacids every single time. That's a big one, all right. A lot of people will promote, all right, antacids if we're dealing it. Of course, if you've made the nutritional changes, all right, and you need medications, all right, to help with your heartburn, acid reflux, then of course you want to make sure that you're taking it. But you need to make sure you're talking with your medical practitioner before that if we're on any medications. The issue with that, all right, if we're having, antacids after every spicy meal, because we're getting heartburn, after citrus fruits in the morning because we're dealing with acid reflux or GERD, if we're taking those every single day or multiple times a day, overuse can cause negative effects, all right, of antacids and things of that nature as well. All right, so just be careful with that. Make sure you speak with your medical practitioner. All right, I'm trying to sip this coffee as quiet as I can because I know I'm right in front of the microphone here. It is good seeing you today. Thank you, Christine. It's good being on stream. I like to make sure that I get on here at least, as often as possible. So like I said, it's a little bit more with the setup. The setup's going to change. Eventually I'll have a background. Or eventually the lighting and everything will be much better. Right now the lighting is quite poor, to be honest with you. It's all behind me. But we just continue and move on and do the best that we can. But I'm glad that you think so, Christine. I'll be honest, guys. It was a little bit of a late night for me. All right, I had some consultations last night. And I also finished my book, as you'll see in the title, the Nutrition Guide book launch. All right, so the Nutrition Guide is now completed. All right, so the Nutrition Guide is now completed. I was doing the final edits. I had 4 individuals help me with those edits. All right, I read through it, was doing a bunch of different changes last night, so I was up a little bit later after those consultations, putting the final touches on the book. I'll make sure we talk about that in a little bit here, guys. But it was a little bit of a later night for me. So hopefully I don't look too bad after that late night and then getting up nice and early, 6:30 a.m.-ish about today. So thank you so much, guys. Let's talk about the lifestyle tips. Again, we might have to take antacids. Be careful, or other medications. Just speak with your medical practitioner, because we know overuse of those medications, or, relying on antacids every time we have heartburn or acid reflux, all right, they can be helpful because they can reduce acid production. That's the whole point of taking them, all right, because an excess of acid, or having those digestive juices, an excess of stomach acid, is when it can start to kind of travel up into the esophagus, creating heartburn. Right? It can help manage symptoms, all right, but again, overuse can cause negative side effects, all right, and it can become less and less helpful, all right, over time, the more that we take them, right? If we're taking antacids, multiple times a day, even every day, over time, they're going to become less and less effective. All right, so just keep that in mind. Nutritional changes are where we're going to want to sort of focus our lifestyle changes on. But again, if you need medications to help control, to help relieve heartburn, GERD, things of that nature, GERD, again, if it's chronic, more severe, all right, then we'll have to do what we have to do. If it's medications or antacids, just make sure that you speak with your medical practitioner. Rupal, congratulations. Thank you, my friend. I look fine. Okay, thank you, Rupal. It's good to hear. I don't mind the late nights and the early mornings. I'm kind of a morning person myself. But yeah, I was a little bit later last night, working into I was burning the midnight oils last night, as they say. I think that's what they say. Oil or candle, whatever it is. Right? But wanted to make sure that we got on today, and we're talking a little bit about relieving heartburn. Like I said, it's the most common, all right, sort of digestive issue. All right, if we're thinking of an umbrella of issues that's related to our digestive system, like irritable bowel disease, inflammatory bowel disease, diverticulitis, colitis, even stomach flu's thrown in there. All right, even more prevalent than things like stomach flu and things of that nature. So I wanted to make sure that we talked about this important topic. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm very, very happy with how it came out. We'll get into that. I want to make sure that we talk about our heartburn first. All right, lifestyle tips, just real quickly, guys. All right, we talked a little bit about the antacids. Again, other medications can help reduce acid production in the stomach, which can relieve some of the symptoms. All right, that pain, that discomfort in the chest, all right, that burning sensation that you get if you deal with heartburn, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The other thing that we want to do is maintain a healthy weight. All right, maintaining a healthy weight can reduce the symptoms of acid reflux and our risk of developing, acid reflux after spicy foods and that nature. All right, the other one is avoiding alcohol. All right, avoid alcohol. It's only going to make it worse. All right, avoid, super acidic foods like our citrus fruits, especially first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. All right. I think avoiding alcohol and quitting smoking are two of the most important things that we can do. All right, and same with, again, of course, maintaining a healthy weight for our overall health. But for relieving heartburn, for relieving, acid reflux, avoiding alcohol, and then quitting smoking, all right, can be two very, very powerful lifestyle tips. I know it can be tough. All right, again, with alcohol, if you have to, all right, have it in moderation. Try to stay away from it. Quitting, I would try your best. I know, again, it's very, very difficult, all right, to quit smoking. Let's not pretend that it's not, all right, but if we can, all right, it can really help with heartburn symptoms, GERD symptoms, things of that nature. The other thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to overeat, and we want to make sure that we're eating more slowly, all right? And then the other thing is, sometimes this is the big one that we're kind of talking about, all right? Not eating on an empty stomach. A lot of people will eat those citrus fruits like Kaz asked. He asked a great question, all right? Sometimes they'll have coffee like I'm having, all right? Again, I don't have any heartburn related issues. I'm lucky in that sense, all right, or very fortunate in that sense. I can have coffee, all right, and I could fast, all right, until I'll probably do it today until 12. All right. Again, you guys don't have to do this. This is my own personal diet. I'm going to fast until 12. I'm okay with drinking coffee right now. Right? It's individuals that are dealing with heartburn, acid reflux, even dealing with things like citrus fruits. Coffee can even be a little bit of a trigger food for some individuals. Just make sure you're keeping it in moderation, or at least you have some sort of meal, right, before you have your coffee. That way you're starting to sort of start the digestive process. All right, you're balancing that pH levels in the stomach. All right, from you don't want to overdo it and be acidic. All right, you want to balance the pH levels so that we're not dealing with heartburn and GERD. So those are some of our trigger foods, guys. Again, If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. All right, so make sure you know your triggers. All right, again, it's going to be different for everyone. Some people have it with spicy foods. That seems to be a common one, but other people will have it with processed foods, high sugar, high sodium. All right, some people will have it with dark chocolate, like I mentioned. All right, speaking with a lot of clients. All right, with a lot of doing a lot of consultations. All right, something as simple as dark chocolate can be a trigger food. Those lifestyle ones that we talked about just really quickly. All right, alcohol can be a big one if we're dealing with being overweight or obese. All right, that can be another trigger. All right, and then also eating on an empty stomach can be a big trigger for most people, guys. All right, again, thank you so much for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Wow, I've already been going for almost 45 minutes. That's the other thing. When my face is on stream, all right, the time just seems to fly by. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm gonna always look into the mic that way, or sorry, not the mic, into the camera, right? Just because it's almost like an engagement with you guys. So a lot of times, all right, I'll look into the camera, and it's kind of nice because, you know, I can see the chat just a little bit better. Sometimes when I don't have the camera on, all right, I'll be looking down, or I'll be looking at my other monitor, or I'll be looking down at my notes, and sometimes I'll miss that. Now it's kind of nice because I have something to focus my attention on. I can look at the camera. And again, thank you, everyone. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. So let's talk about, we already know that reflux symptoms, acid reflux symptoms, and heartburn are a result of stomach acid, all right, an excess of stomach acid and digestive juices traveling up and touching the esophagus and causing irritation and pain, and that burning sensation. All right, that's what we want to have. If you have too much acid, all right, too much stomach acid, here's going to be some specific foods we can have in our diet that we can add to our diet. If you're having them in your diet now, great. All right. If you are still have them in your diet and you're still dealing with heartburn, all right, I think maybe the first thing you want to do is make sure you're staying away from your trigger foods. All right, making sure we're not eating on an empty stomach. All right, and then continue to go from there. Start cutting back slowly. All right, don't cut everything out. All right, take it step by step. It might just be coffee on an empty stomach. All right, that might be your trigger. All right, where it's not so much citrus fruits, it could be coffee. All right, it might be citrus fruits and not the coffee. Trial and error is one of our biggest things that we can do, most helpful things that we can do in figuring out what works for us. All right, so take it step by step. I know that we want to relieve those symptoms as fast as possible, but if you've been dealing with them for months or years, all right, taking a little bit of time to figure out what exactly is causing those issues, all right, can be a huge benefit for us. Kaz, great question. Does stress cause heartburn? Stress can be a trigger for GERD and for heartburn. Absolutely, we want to de-stress. One of the lifestyle changes that is often... People underestimate stress and anxiety, guys. All right. One of the common triggers, all right, I didn't mention it, all right, because, you know, some of the ones are a little bit more prevalent, like smoking, like obesity, like alcohol, all right, things of that nature. All right. Our trigger foods can, you know, sometimes be a little bit more of a common theme that you'll see, all right, that are going to cause symptoms of heartburn, all right, of acid reflux. But absolutely, stress, all right, can be one of the causes, all right, for dealing with heartburn, all right, or at least having heartburn symptoms, all right, along probably combined with something else as well. But let's just say really simply, Kaz, stress is not going to be your friend when it comes to dealing with heartburn symptoms, all right, acid reflux and things of that nature. We cannot underestimate the power, all right, the negative power, all right, and consequences that stress has on the body. Remember, if we're high in stress, all right, our cortisol is probably high as well, our stress hormone. But stress can certainly be one of the main factors that can lead to heartburn symptoms. So great question. I'm glad you pointed that out. I had written it down in my notes. It was the last one. It's a lifestyle change that we need to make, okay? So one of our triggers, but it's definitely a lifestyle tip that I would, you know, espouse to you guys and let you guys know. Stress and anxiety can certainly be one of the symptoms, because stress and anxiety is going to have an effect on our digestive system. All right, it's going to affect our digestive system negatively. We already know through numerous studies how stress can affect gut flora. all right, and lead to digestive ailments. We already know that stress can lead to constipation, all right, irregularity, diarrhea, all right. That's already telling us that our digestive system is compromised due to stress and anxiety. So great question, Kaz. Love the question. Don't underestimate stress and anxiety, guys, when it comes to even heartburn, Gerd, digestive issues. All right, great question. Would organic coffee make a difference? Thanks again. No problem, Kaz. All right, thanks for your questions. All right, like I said, this is the point of my streams are to engage with you guys and answer your questions. We're on the topic of heartburn, but again, this is all dealing back with it because coffee, all right, can be one of the trigger foods. All right, it's acidic. I'm very fortunate. I'm sipping coffee as I have my chat. I can't even remember the last time I had heartburn, knock on wood. We want to keep it that way. Would organic coffee make a difference? The thing is with organic coffee is you're still going to have a little bit of that acidity, all right, with it. It would be like saying, all right, organic grapefruit or organic lemons, all right, non-GMO and things of that. You're still going to have a little bit of the acidity. Would it make a huge difference? I would say probably not. All right, the thing is you're still having coffee, all right, even decaf coffee. I think that we can turn it around and even answer that question. All right, even decaf coffee can have a negative effect, right, due to the acidity that's being produced. So that's a great question. All right, so would organic coffee make a difference? I would say not really. All right, I would say that because we're consuming coffee, we're increasing acidity, which is going to increase symptoms of acid reflux, of Gerd, things of that nature. But that's a great question. Again, it would be like asking if organic grapefruit, organic tomatoes, all right, things of that nature, organic garlic, for that matter, all right, we still can deal with those issues of acid reflux. Maybe it can help, maybe it can have a little bit of a difference, but overall, coffee consumption can lead to our symptoms of acid reflux, heartburn, and perhaps Gerd over time. I didn't know that. Hopefully that answers the question, Kaz. It's not going to hurt. The thing with organic coffee and coffee, if you're not dealing with these symptoms, I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you are, in moderation, or help try to, figure out what some of your other trigger foods are, not eating on an empty stomach or first thing in the morning or having coffee on an empty stomach, all right, it's not going to be good. I'll be honest with you guys. Coffee is fine with me. All right, maybe because right now I have cream in it. Remember, I'm on keto right now. All right, and kind of backing off from that a little bit, all right, for my own personal reasons due to wanting to get more protein into my diet. Again, that's not important for you guys, but remember what I do, you don't have to do. You figure it out figure out what works for you and what's best for you, all right? But yeah, coffee does not affect me. What affects me would be something like green tea. I can't drink green tea on an empty stomach, all right? I don't necessarily get the heartburn effects from it, but I definitely feel kind of like that queasy feeling, like almost lightheadedness, all right, and almost feeling sick. A lot of people get that from a multivitamin as well. If you've ever had a multivitamin on an empty stomach, same sort of issue. I didn't know that stress and heartburn. Yeah, absolutely. It can be one of the big ones, Rupal. All right, stress can affect our body in a number of different ways. All right, remember stress. All right, it's even hormonal. All right, remember stress can be caused and increased from high cortisol levels. And the reason why I'm always talking about, in the morning, on an empty stomach, in the morning. All right, grapefruit in the morning. All of this different stuff. All of these different sort of examples is because our stress tends to be highest within the hour, all right, after we wake up, all right. Our cortisol levels are the highest after we wake up. Within that hour range, all right, cortisol is going to be the highest. So, and that has to deal with sort of stress, all right. If our stress hormone is increased, then of course we're at a greater risk, all right, for stress and the symptoms and negative consequences that can come from having high stress. But, there's been studies, there's been things that are linking stress with heartburn and things of that. Is it the biggest one? Probably not, but lowering our stress and anxiety can certainly have beneficial consequences to, dealing with symptoms of heartburn and things of that nature. Gerd, for one. Absolutely. There you go. That's a great point, Rupal. Stress can cause irritable bowel syndrome. So we know that stress, and like I was saying before, stress and anxiety can deal with our digestive system, like I was pointing out, can lead to constipation, most often diarrhea, things of that nature. All right, so we know that stress and anxiety can affect our digestive system negatively. All right, even increase inflammation like IBS. It's an inflammatory, condition of the digestive system. Irritable bowel syndrome, and irritable bowel disease can be increased due to high stress. Absolutely. That's a great point, Rupal. Thanks for saying that. Cold brew coffee can help. Absolutely. I've never had cold brew coffee, but very, very popular right now. And just be careful with the caffeine, with the acidity, right? And things of that nature. Instead of coffee, I would suggest hot malt drink, nearest to taste and comfort. Yep, that or, something like, hot water with ginger, all right, which we'll talk about a little bit, is very, very helpful. Kaz, yes, thank you. Okay, perfect. Cold brew has less acid. Interesting. All right. So like I said, I've never had cold brew coffee. I'm like a warm coffee guy. I've never had iced coffee or anything like that. And to be honest, I have no interest in it. I love the warm coffee, especially now in the winter in Canada. But right now it's minus 13 Celsius. Probably feels even colder than that. It's, again, I keep saying this. I feel like I'm saying this every stream. It's one of the coldest days of the year. All right, I think it's something like feels minus 21 Celsius. If you deal with Fahrenheit, all right, look that up. It is not a pleasant time to be outside. So warm coffee for me right now is sort of the way to go. But I know cold brew coffee is very, very popular these days. Malt drink I'll have to look into. Never heard of it. These interesting foods coming from different areas of the world. That's why I love talking to you guys and knowing where you're from. I can learn about these different foods. So thank you very much for pointing that out, guys. It's a good question, Rupal. I believe that it is. I see it whenever I see, like, when you go into a coffee shop and things like that, right? And then heat it up. Okay, interesting. I see that it sometimes comes from like a tap. So very, very interesting. I don't know the process of making cold brew coffee. I'll be honest with you. All right, cold brew coffee. All right, so news to me. All right, it's a way to make it. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about some of the things that can help to reduce reflux symptoms. Because again, all right, reflux symptoms are going to be the result of stomach acid traveling up, all right, the digestive system, the stomach, into the esophagus, causing irritation and that burning feeling, all right, pain and discomfort, all right. If we have too much acid, all right, we need to make sure, again, we stay away from our trigger foods, make your lifestyle changes, and then we can start to incorporate some of these specific foods that I made some notes on, all right, that can help start to soothe some of the symptoms and reduce some of the symptoms, okay? So that's the big one right there. Now, before we get into some of the foods we eat, just let me really quickly, I'll YouTube it later. Yeah, I'm going to YouTube it later too, Rupal, I'll be honest with you. Let me just really quickly just say, all right, these foods that we want to eat, we don't have to add them all right? Add them one-on-one. Just like if we're dealing with GERD or heartburn or anything like that, all right, make sure we start to take them out one by one, all right? We don't want to just eliminate all the foods that we eat. We don't know what the main cause is, all right? Trial and error is your friend, all right? Taking your time, taking it on a day-by-day basis and a week-by-week basis is going to be very, very helpful to you, okay? But again, foods that are lower, all right, in fat, all right, to start are going to be helpful, and especially in sugar, because we want to reduce inflammation, all right? Again, if we're also having fat, we need to make sure that we're having healthy fats. So I wouldn't, necessarily be scared of fats in general. I would stay away from saturated and trans fats, all right? But foods that can be helpful, all right? One of the biggest ones, guys, is going to be ginger. That's why I brought up warm water with ginger thrown in it, okay? A lot of people will combine lemon and ginger water, warm lemon and ginger water into their morning routine, if they're doing that, all right, again, you're adding in those citrus fruits that can be a trigger for you. So just having warm water with ginger. Why is ginger so important? All right, is because it has natural anti-inflammatory properties. All right, it's a natural treatment. We talked a little bit about the antacids and other medications. Ginger can be a natural treatment for heartburn and also for other gastrointestinal problems and issues like irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, diverticulitis, all of those other issues. All right, ginger is going to be one of your best friends, one of the best foods to relieve heartburn, acid reflux, and if we're dealing with it chronically, with Gerd. All right, so start with ginger. All right, I think you can make a ginger tea. That's always a nice one. But we know ginger, all right, also has specific compounds, all right, only found in ginger, gingerol being the main one. Nice bioactive compounds that are going to help soothe the stomach, all right, reduce some of that acid, start getting those digestive enzymes, those digestive juices doing their work so we don't have excess stomach acid, so thereby releasing and reducing some of that heartburn, relieving some of those symptoms of heartburn and Gerd. All right, so we can drink ginger tea. We can add it to our smoothies in the morning. Again, I like that idea because then you're not having an empty stomach. Remember, eating on an empty stomach can put us at an increased risk for heartburn because then we're having excess stomach acid. Right, we're eating, if we're not eating, all right, we're taking a multivitamin, we're having coffee, we're having other acidic foods. All right, we already have excess stomach acid. All right, it's not going to do its job. It's going to increase the risk of heartburn. All right, so ginger is a nice natural treatment for relieving heartburn, for reducing, all right, those uncomfortable symptoms like pain, that burning sensation. Again, it's like in your heart. They call it heartburn, but you really feel it all the way up into the throat. If you've dealt with heartburn before, very, very uncomfortable. All right, so make sure that if we're trying to, avoid trigger foods, all right, and add some helpful foods, ginger can be maybe one of the first ones that you might want to start to add. All right, ginger, very, very powerful. And again, you're going to get those nice bioactive compounds like gingerol, all right, and its anti-inflammatory properties and all of the properties that are going to help with the digestive system. All right. A lot of people will take it for like bloating, for stomach pain, for indigestion, again, more digestive issues, things of that nature. Another one that I would say as well, all right, is going to be leafy green vegetables, guys. Leafy green vegetables we know are very, very important for a number of health benefits. One of the best foods to relieve heartburn, all right, and Gerd, acid reflux. All right, love vegetables. Naturally low in sugar, all right. We're not dealing with those fats, all right. It's not going to create inflammation throughout the digestive system, things of that nature. I think good options would be something like broccoli, but you can go to green beans, kale, cucumbers are a really good one, all right, underrated one, especially when it comes to dealing with heartburn, all right. And then another underrated one, all right, is going to be asparagus. All right, those are some nice vegetables that you can add that can help you to relieve heartburn and Gerd. So just keep that in mind if we're trying to think of helpful foods to reduce heartburn, guys. All right, vegetables and those healthy. And think, when I say vegetables, people will always go to broccoli, they'll always go to spinach and things of that nature. But remember, we just mentioned cucumbers, asparagus, green beans, all right, cauliflower in that instance. All right, those are going to be helpful as well. We don't always have to just go broccoli, spinach, kale, all right, for dark leafy green vegetables. If you want to choose those and you enjoy them, of course, you can add them into your diet, but they don't have to be the only ones that we eat on a consistent basis. All right, try different, types of foods, all right, they can give you the benefits. Those can be helpful foods for you when dealing with heartburn. Sweet Cakes, great to see you in chat. Good morning. Great to see a face that match your voice. I know, right? It's always nice to get on here when I can. Always great to be able to do the face streams. All right. Again, I have no issues with it. It's just setting up everything. All right. It's a lot easier sometimes, but I'm making it a point to be on stream more and more. All right? That way I can engage. Like you said, it's always nice. You're not the only one who said that, all right? Nice to see a face, the face behind the voice, all right? And this is when I do my coaching and consultations, this is exactly how it is. Could get on Skype, on Zoom, Google Hangout, anything. Doesn't really matter, but that's exactly how it's done, all right? So same setup, all right? Face on stream, all right? Not on stream, but face-to-face consultations and coaching. I think that's the best, all right? So vegetables, ginger is going to be a huge one, guys. Very, very nice for our digestive system. Its anti-inflammatory properties, and for its ability to reduce gastrointestinal issues like heartburn, all right, like acid reflux, both under the same umbrella, all right, and inflammation within the digestive tract, all right. So it can actually help to reduce heartburn, which I think is very, very important. We can have green tea. Now, I just want to point out, how long have we been going here? All right, we have a bunch of other ones that I think are going to be very, very helpful. All right, and I really want to point out this next one because we've been talking a lot about staying away from fat, and I don't want people to get the impression, all right, that when I say stay away from fat, all right, it means all fats. Remember, not all fats are created equal. We have our good fats with mono, poly, omega-3, and omega-6s, all right, omega-9s even, all right, and our bad fats, saturated trans fats. Again, we want that good ratio, all right, so I want to make sure I touch on this, all right, before we continue to move on. I like the mixture on camera or off. That's perfect, RuPaul. Yep, a little bit of both. All right, like you guys, when in your voting, all right, a nice mixture. Almost 50% said a mix of both. All right, so that's what we'll do. Like I said, I was going to listen to the feedback. All right, I can absolutely do that for you. Now, one thing I just wanted to point out. We're over an hour in. All right, we've continued with our live stream. I hope you guys are getting great value from talking about heartburn, what exactly it is, what causes it, what might be trigger foods, and now we're getting into helpful foods. All right, we know the amount of individuals who are dealing with heartburn, Gerd, acid reflux. All right, it's the most common digestive ailment. All right, I think about 20% now is the number of Americans, very, very similar around the world. Would broccoli sprouts work well? I would say so, Patricia. Absolutely. Broccoli sprouts would be just fine. All right. Any vegetable, all right, that's going to give you a lot of micronutrients. All right. It's low in, obviously low in saturated and trans fats. All right. And you're not going to have any sugar coming from it. It's a good source of fiber, which can be very, very helpful. It's filling. It's acting as a food source for that good gut bacteria. And the most important thing, when we have things that are high in fiber, boom, that stomach acid, the digestive juices start to work, right? And then once that happens, all right, less and less of that stomach acid is going to be maintained in the gut, which gives it less of a chance to travel up into the esophagus. So I think any foods, especially with vegetables, right, but any foods that aren't going to create inflammation, that are high in fiber, that are naturally low in those bad fats and naturally low in sugar are going to be helpful when it comes to decreasing and relieving heartburn. Broccoli sprouts can certainly be one of them. But great question. All right, a number of vegetables. Have the vegetables that you enjoy. All right, don't force yourself to eat vegetables that you don't enjoy, because then you're just not going to stick with it. All right, you're probably not going to eat them as often. All right, but broccoli sprouts can certainly help as well. Now, like I said, we've been well over an hour into here. I just want to point out here, guys, all right, I have completed, and I'll hold up, all right, my nutrition guide, all right, here, my ebook that is now available, all right, to individuals. I'm going to try to hold it up right in front of the camera, all right. Here's our nutrition book. Here's the nutrition guide. I think very helpful for individuals who are starting out on their nutritional journey. I know a lot of people in chat know about nutrition, but I think it can act as a great reminder. Even writing it myself, I was getting great reminders, and not only to start simple or start, on the right foot, but also a reminder and to take your nutrition to the next level. So we have our nutrition guide here. All right. I think you can get a lot of great benefits. All right, tons of chapters included in this. All right, I spent hours, all right, writing this and researching this. Again, with the nutrition guide, all right, I wanted to make sure that we had philosophical ideas to improve your nutrition, and also food lists to improve your nutrition as well. This is going to cover a wide range, all right, of macronutrients. Okay, so it's not just focusing on one thing, a big focus on all of our nutrition. How can we improve our overall nutrition? All right, looking at our diets in a complete manner, not just focusing on proteins and fats, but proteins, carbohydrates, fats, water, vegetables, fruits, things of that nature, things that we want to consume to bring our nutrition to the next level. All right, so very, very happy to announce the launch of our nutrition guide here on Foods for Health channel. All right, Coach Nate's nutrition guide. Again, a lot of work went into this ebook. I want to make sure that you guys are getting the best value. Anyone who signs up as a member, nutrition book, nice to see it. Nice picture on it. Thank you, Rupal. It's funny. Everything that you see in this nutrition book, all right, was created by myself, all right, with some help from others, but I created the cover. I wrote, obviously, the entire thing. All of it came from my own philosophical ideas of my own list of foods. There wasn't a list of foods that were being looked at. The ones that I, through my own research, thought would be most helpful for you. All right. I think you'll get incredible benefits, not only from the food list, but from the ideas of building a nutrition guide or building a nutrition plan. All right. I think that's one of the best things that you can get from this. The thing is, when it comes to nutrition and a nutrition guide, all right, people will tell you about diets, and there's nothing wrong with this, all right? But if we look at, individuals, all right, in, let's say the United States, we'll just take on that we'll take on that example just because I know the numbers right off the top of my head. Let's be honest, and let's take a step back for a second. 66%, more than 2/3 of individuals in the United States are overweight, obese, or extremely obese. All right, these individuals, all right, aren't going to be the type of individuals that are going to immediately jump on an intermittent fasting or a plan that involves a ketogenic diet. All right, a lot of the times they're starting and needing the basics. If you are, all right, already creating a nice nutrition plan for yourself, this will help take you to the next level. All right, and how you can continue bring it to the next level for the rest of your life. Important lifestyle changes. All right, it starts with the basics, and it's something that you can use as a reminder and as a guide for the rest of your life. All right, and some principles. I have a number of principles. All right, again, that's why I said it's a nice mix of philosophical ideas. All right, doing research for over 10 years, working with hundreds of clients, doing thousands maybe of consultations at this point. All right. But I think it'll be very helpful from anyone who is starting on their nutrition journey and anyone who is trying to improve their nutrition and make a lifestyle change for the rest of their life. All right. Again, numerous chapters in here. I think, lots of information as I just flip through the book. All right, here real fast. All right, it's going to come in PDF form. All right, so online form. Here's what I wanted to do. Those individuals who are members of the channel, who have been gracious enough and who have been supportive enough for the channel, who have clicked the join button, all right, and became members of the FIT team, are going to be getting the nutrition guide for free. All right, there's different tiers for the nutrition guide. All right, so you join up as a FIT team member, all right, you'll get the nutrition guide for free. All right. So the nutrition guide will come for free for those individuals who are FIT team members. That's one of the perks for being a FIT team member on the channel. All right. It's also going to come as a discount because it's going to be a little bit more expensive for those individuals who aren't FIT team members. All right. So you get, I think, great value from having, from joining as a member, because not only do you get those perks, but there's going to be other perks down the road. All right. So individuals will be able to get this nutrition guide for free. All right, as a member of the FIT team, clicking that join button, becoming a member of the channel, and it's also going to be made available to those individuals who aren't FIT team members. Just you get a reduction in price as a Fit Team member. You get those perks as a Fit Team member. That's what I want to make sure that you guys are aware of. Fit Team members are certainly going to get that nice benefit, that nice perk. So anyone, again, by clicking that join button, becoming a Fit Team member, you will get the nutrition guide for free. And again, I just want to point out, I think the nutrition guide, all right, start simple. All right, so nutrition guide, simple tips for big results. That's what we're looking for, guys. Keeping it simple. All right, so many times we can get caught up on what's the best diet, what's the easiest diet, the most healthy diet. Okay, let's break it down into fundamentals. All right, the things that's worked for millions of people. All right, backed up by studies. What are some of the healthy foods that we can start to incorporate today? A lot of the times, a lot of diets, all right, we can incorporate them, but it can be very tough to start and it can be very tough to maintain. So I just want to make sure that I hold this up. Sorry if it blocks my face. All right, I took this picture, all right, was created on my own. Maybe I'll make it one of the thumbnails now. You know how when my face isn't on stream, I usually put up a picture. All right, I think I can include this picture now in there. Something that I built. All right, I kind of like it. It includes a lot of healthy foods in there. And again, I think you guys will get great benefit from it. Again, those individuals who are Fit Team members will be getting the book for free. So just keep that in mind. I think it's going to be very, very helpful. All right. The feedback that I've gotten from it already, all right, individuals have found it helpful just even in the philosophical ideas. All right, I think that's the most important thing if you're trying to improve your nutrition. All right, and it's all in there. Everything from, keeping it simple tips to accountability. All right, I'll leave it at that. In total, we got about more than 12 chapters in there, plus obviously an introduction, conclusion, putting it all together, sections. All right, so it's not just a super quick read. All right, a pamphlet type book. All right, a lot of good information. Like I said, hours, weeks went into writing this book. Hours, all right, and this whole week pretty much went into editing the book, making little changes here and there, adding certain things that I thought would be most helpful for you guys. So again, joining as a member, getting that book for free, one of the great perks, all right, that you can get as a Fit Team member. Again, when you write a book and everything like that, and you launch a book, the most important thing for me is that it's creating value. All right, I'm putting my name on this book. All right, I took the time to write it. All right, I wanted to make sure, and the whole time that I was writing it, and as I sort of outline the book, all right, you don't just really write in this writing process. You don't just think of an idea and then just start writing. All right, there's a whole scheme breaking down chapter and chapter, what chapters I wanted, what I wanted in each chapter. All right, by doing that, all right, I think that's where its value is really going to come. All of the pre-planning that went into writing this book, all right, I think with my own practical experience backed up by certain studies, but again, a lot of my own experience, all right, working with individuals, seeing what works for most individuals or a large proportion of them, seeing what doesn't work for a lot of individuals, I think that's where its value is going to come from. All right, and again, all right, 12 chapters in there. All right, building your own nutrition plan, building your own nutrition guide. All right, I'm very, very happy with this book. Again, I would not put my name on it or make it available to you guys, all right, if I was not confident that it could help you. I am very, very confident that it can help you. I'll tell you this, the individuals who read this book, all right, immediately started thinking of lifestyle changes, but also healthy eating. Okay, and again, I wouldn't just say that to you guys. You guys know I'm transparent. All right, I'm always as honest as possible here on the channel. All right, doing these live streams, I'm always going to try to answer your questions as best I can, as honestly I can. All right, it's the exact same thing with this book. All right, the individuals that read it, all right, we're getting a lot of motivation. It's helping them to start their nutrition journey and add into the nutrition journey. So I know I'm talking about the book a lot, but it's something that I put my name behind, and it's something that I'm very, very happy with, and it's something that I'm very, very confident can help individuals. All right, so I'm going to put my business email in here. All right, if you're interested, I think joining as a Fit Team member is your best bet, because you're going to get it as a perk. You're going to get it for free. All right, and you're getting it at a discount. All right, from individuals who aren't Fit Team members. And don't forget, when you join as a Fit Team member, you're going to be getting other perks down the road. All right, so I think you're getting great value from joining as a Fit Team member. All right, and again, you don't have to join as a Fit Team member. I'm not saying that you have to, all right, but you're getting the best value from joining as a Fit Team member, because then you're getting the book for free. All right, so not only are you supporting the channel, you're getting all of the perks that come with it, all of the information. And here's the thing, guys, I'll be honest, here's a little bit of sort of some pre-information for you. There's going to be probably at least 3 books that come out this year. All right, at least 3 books. All right, my next one is probably going to be an anti-inflammatory book. All right, I want something that's specific to weight loss. All right, and there's going to be a lot of planning that goes into those books as well. All right, again, it's not a super quick read where it's like a pamphlet, point for point, eat this, eat that. All right, we break it down. We give philosophical ideas. All right, we give practical ideas that you can start using right after you read it, right as you're reading it. All right, and then again, you're getting those tremendous perks that are going to be coming throughout the year. Again, I want to try writing 3 books this year. I don't even want to say try. There's going to be 3 books that come out this year. All right, I know for a fact. All right, but I'm super, super excited to get this nutrition guide. Again, nutrition guide, simple tips for big results, and I think that's where it's really going to shine. All right, not inundating us with information. The best nutrition books and the best nutrition information that I've ever read are ones that's kept it simple. All right, can give us nice philosophical ideas that we can immediately start to incorporate into our day-to-day lifestyle to be healthier. All right, to make healthier choices, to improve longevity, to reduce the risk of non-communicable diseases. All right, so I just want to give a quick shout out. The nutrition book, the nutrition guide is now done. All right, it's available, all right, to all of those individuals. And I just want to say real quick, all right, it's going to be free for those individuals who sign up as Fit Team members. The reason why I'm bringing that up, all right, so much is I've gotten tons of emails, all right, on how do you join as a member. All right, if you scroll down, all right, if I scroll down here, all right, there should be a join button beside your subscribe button. For me, it's different. I have analytic buttons and stuff like that just because I own the channel. This is my channel. But for you guys, the join button, it should be a white button and everything like that, with blue lettering. And you click that, you see the options. Just joining as a Fit Team member, that book will be available to you guys. All right, I really think it's going to be helpful for you. All right, again, I wouldn't put my name on it. I wouldn't put my YouTube channel on it. All right, that's for sure, if I didn't think that it would help, because the book will be available to you guys. You can email me for a copy of the book. We can talk about pricing, but you can simply get the book by joining as a Fit Team member. All right, I think that's the simplest way. I'll just email it to you that way, to all of my Fit Team members. So I just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out, guys. I'm very, very excited with how the book turned out. I could not be more happier. As I was doing all of my revisions, all of the editing, as I was editing it with a couple of partners, all right, I was super, super excited to be able to get that out to you. I did not rush. All right, the goal was to try to get it out last week. All right, there was a few things that I wanted to make sure that I added in there, a few things that I wanted to change. All right, so we put it out this week. Chose to put it out now this Wednesday for the timing of the stream. Could not be more happier. All right, and again, everyone I would say, if you can, not only are you supporting the channel, but you're getting this nice information that you can use as a guide and as a reminder for your overall health. All right, the practical philosophies, the practical practices and approaches that you can use to build a proper nutrition plan. All right, and it talks about how to build a nutrition plan, what you need, all right, and not sort of, focusing too much on fad diets, how you can be successful with any diet. Okay, so again, Fit Team members, by clicking that join button, you will get that book for free. That's one of your perks as joining a member. The goal is to put out more books this year. I would say 3 books are going to be coming out. All right, the three books will be coming out. All right, more perks will be coming to you guys. I appreciate all of the Fit Team members. Big shout out to Sonia, who was already in here today, who's a Fit Team member. I know there's others who are listening, or at least will be listening later on. So thank you so much for your support, guys. And then also the other way to give back is through our super chat function. So I just wanted to make sure that, I let you guys know that this nutrition guide was now completed, because I've probably brought it up. I don't even know how many times on stream I've been talking about this nutrition guide. All right, so I want to make sure that you guys know, after weeks of writing this book, it is now ready. It is available to you guys. I was talking about it all the way back in 2021. All right, beginning this book. So it's not something that I wanted to rush out to you guys. All right, it's done, it's available, and it's going to be available free to Fit Team members. I think that's the best value. All right, because again, it's available to everyone, but you get that discount as a Fit Team member. All right, so I hope that you guys will read the nutrition guide. I hope that you guys will get those simple tips for big results to improve your nutrition. All right, I hope that you will believe in me through these years that I've been putting up videos. All right, doing these live streams. All right, hopefully I've enough goodwill, all right, enough confidence from you guys to create something that'll give you great value. I think this is just as valuable as any live stream. All right, taking all the live streams together, it's like pretty much taking the 10 years of creating videos, all right, daily videos almost, all right, doing our bi-weekly live streams, all right, and condensing it into a 12-chapter book with an introduction and conclusion, an accountability and consistency portion of the book. I think it's taking all of that information and condensing it into something that you can read, all right, and start using today. All right, so again, thank you so much for all the support. Thank you. Big shout out to all the Fit Team members who are going to get this book for free. If you are interested in the book, I put it up on Foods for Health. I put up my email, sorry. All right, you see it there, foodsforhealth1@gmail.com. Please feel free to email me. Again, I get a ton of questions on how do you become a member. It's by clicking that join button that you should see beside the subscribe button. Hopefully you're already subscribed. If not, I would love you to subscribe to the channel, of course. All right, but it's down by that subscribe button. All right, and you should find it on the home page. It'd probably be in the top right if you're on a computer. They don't do a very good job on their mobile devices, all right, with people being able to find that join button. So on a computer, much easier, right? Much easier for you to find that join button. But I hope you guys, will believe in me, take a chance, on this nutrition guide. I really, really think you'll find it beneficial. All right. The individuals, again, I'll just point out, who have read it so far, all right, were motivated right after reading it. Easy practices, keeping it simple, all right, and changing their nutrition, all right, starting right from reading it, because it's simple ideas, all right. Simple ideas, but things that are simple, all right, can add up, all right, over time. And that's how I truly believe we can really start to make important changes to our diet. All right, I don't think overnight changing drastically, all right, is the way to go with creating a nutrition plan, all right, or increasing nutrition. I think that can be very tough for most individuals. I think it can be restrictive for most individuals. And a lot of the times we get caught up, and you guys can comment on this as well, all right, a lot of times we get caught up in diets, all right, that are very, very tough to not only start, but to maintain, all right. Again, you guys know that I think and I write this in the nutrition guide, all right, you can follow any diet, all right, but a lot of diets will be more demanding than others, all right, and a lot of the times they don't focus just on the basics, all right. How can we be healthy, all right, and start eating today to be healthy, all right. The whole point of the book is to reduce non-communicable diseases, so heart disease, which is on the rise, diabetes, which is on the rise, all right, inflammation, arthritis, all all right, those non-communicable diseases, increasing our immune system, all right, and then also increasing longevity. I think those are, and reducing obesity. I think that's the big one. All right. So there's a lot of good tips in there for you guys. Again, I know I'm going on and on about the book, but I'm super pleased to be able to get it out. A lot of work went into it, and I was more than happy to do that work because I want to give as much value to you guys as possible. All right. So the nutrition guide, simple tips for big results by Coach Nate on the Foods for Health channel, all right, is now available free to our Fit Team members. All right. And if you're interested in the book, all right, it's going to be on Amazon, a bunch of different platforms. One of the easiest ways that you can get the book is to email me at that foodsforhealth1@gmail.com. That's my business email. I'll be able to respond immediately, all right, to your question, or your question on how to get the book, or if you want the book, I can immediately get it to you. All right, keep it nice and simple. All right, if you enjoy that picture, that's one that I was creating for myself there. So some work went into creating that cover for you. Okay. Eventually, perhaps we'll have hardcover books as well. All right, but ebooks are the easiest right now, so it will be as an ebook. Okay, so very, very happy to announce that. Fit Team members getting the book for free. All right, and thank you for your guys' consistent support. I appreciate it. All right, the 2 ways to support the channel is becoming a Fit Team member, hitting that join button, and through the super chat function. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys will take a lot from the nutrition guide, simple tips for big results. Very, very excited to be able to provide that for you. All right, so thanks so much, guys. Thank you for the support. We'll move on from that, but I just want to make sure you know the nutrition guide is out, and you will get it for free as a Fit Team member. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it. If you're looking for that book, all right, very simply, hit that join button, all right, or email me, all right. But again, you're getting a discount as a Fit Team member. So thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. Thank you so much for your support over the years. Thank you so much for being in stream, asking your great questions. I hope you take a chance on reading this book, improving your nutrition, and learning a few ideas on how to approach proper nutrition. So thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. Okay. So it's out. Very, very happy with it. You guys know that when writing a book, you want to make sure that you're getting all of your ideas, the ideas that are going to help you guys the most, just like I do with these streams, or try to do with these streams, and do with every single video that I do. Be on the lookout, guys, because the videos that are going to end up on this channel, all right, are going to be, I think, some of my best videos that are going to be coming out very, very soon. So thank you again for the support. Appreciate you all. Let me get back to the comments here. Nutrition book, nice to see it. Nice picture on it. Thank you again, Rupal. I appreciate that. Wow, congratulations. I need this book. Thank you, Sweet Cakes. So I'd love for you to read the book. Thank you very much. 2/3. Wow. Thank you. How about broth, beef or chicken? I'm thinking warm broth with ginger and some broccoli sprouts thrown in for a warm morning drink. Soup. I think bone broth is tremendous. All right. Bone broth is tremendous. The only thing I would say is, perhaps if you're looking at heartburn and heartburn relief, all right, chicken would be better than beef. All right, chickens can sometimes be a trigger, all right, for heartburn, for acid reflux, for Gerd, and things of that nature. All right, lean meats like chicken, turkey, fish, seafood, things of that nature can be a food that's a helpful food for reducing acid reflux symptoms. All right, so I think throwing some chicken in there with warm broth, with ginger and some broccoli sprouts, I think that's a nice mix. All right, very, very nice. I love the thumbnails. This book one would make a nice thumbnail too. Thank you, Rupal. I think I'll throw it up next one. I think I'll definitely throw it up on the next one on our stream, which will probably be at least the latest by Sunday. Thank you, Rupal. I appreciate the kind words. Susan, good morning. I'm late. That's okay. Better late than never. And I know we start early, so don't worry. All right. And the video is going to be going up on the channel anyway, so don't worry about being late. I never consider it late. You're just getting in at a different time that works for you. And I know you're always in here, Susan, so thank you very much. Oh, my pleasure, Rupal. If you guys have any questions on the nutrition guide, please feel free to ask. Again, I'm very happy with it. Okay. So let's talk about some more foods here, guys. Foods to relieve heartburn, GERD, acid reflux. All right. Another important one that I would say, remember, we wanted to go back to fats. All right. We talked about staying away from fats. Sometimes people will talk about a low-fat diet to help reduce heartburn. Here's the thing. We want to stay away from fats, all right? When we want to stay away from fats, it's saturated and trans fats. Healthy fat sources can actually help, all right, to reduce. It can be a helpful food to relieve heartburn and acid reflux. Sources of healthy fats like avocado, flaxseed, olive oil, which I mentioned earlier, even, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds can all be beneficial. Why? Because you're going to reduce your intake of saturated and trans fats and replace them with these unsaturated fats. These can be helpful for us in reducing and relieving heartburn-related symptoms. All right, so healthy fats. One of the best ones I think is avocados. All right, I also think walnuts is a great one. All right, for the digestive system. Same with flax seeds, chia seeds. Think of your healthy fats, guys. Tons of healthy fats in this nutrition guide, I'll just point out. But you guys know them here as well. Olive oil, I think, is a nice one as well. All right, probably the best oil. Sometimes you'll see like a sunflower oil. Sort of recommended. Olive oil, I'd always say, is the best, or an avocado oil. I think those are important ones, guys, if you're trying to relieve heartburn, all right, GERD, things of that nature, if you're dealing with it on a chronic basis. Remember, find your triggers, and then make the changes from there, guys. When you say GERD, you're talking about gourd, the bitter green veggie, bumpy texture. Actually, GERD would be so what I mean by GERD is it's gastroesophageal reflux disease. So what that means, Rupal, is it's basically heartburn at the chronic level. All right, some people will get acute heartburn, acid reflux. Maybe, they're eating on an empty stomach. Maybe something didn't mix with them, a new spicy food or something along those natures. When I'm talking about GERD, I'll just type in chat. It's the short form, So GERD, GERD, for gastroesophageal reflux disease. All right, so GERD a little bit different, and all that is a more severe chronic form of acid reflux. Again, maybe brought on by certain foods that we're eating. All right, maybe we're having too many trigger foods, not enough of those helpful foods. All right, maybe eating on an empty stomach, things of that nature. Maybe drinking coffee in the morning. Again, citrus fruits in the morning, things like that. All right, so that will just differentiate. It's a great question. Gourd, the bitter green vegetable. All right, huge fan of. I have gourd juice vegetable on the channel if you're interested in that. I know it became quite popular, all right, because there's so many health benefits that are associated with it. All right, but just differentiating between gourd and GERD. But thanks for asking, Rupal, because some people might have needed that clarification as well. Acronym, you got it. Exactly, a short form, just like EGCG in green tea would be your sort of short form for something very long. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, and I don't even have it in front of me. But EGCG, short form, for one of those big long words that most people can't pronounce. I can't pronounce. I got it one time. All right. It's a tongue twister, believe me. All right, I got it one time live on stream, but not having it in front of me, there's no way that I could get it. Body reaction. Exactly, Rupal. Thank you for the question. All right, so these are some of our, like I was saying to Patricia, all right, I would try to stay away from beef as often as possible if you're dealing with heartburn-related symptoms. If you're dealing with acid reflux, I would stick to lean protein sources, all right? So that can mean chicken, that can mean turkey, all right? That can also mean something like egg whites, all right? Something that's lean protein that's not going to have, all right, create a lot of inflammation in the body, all right? something, all right, that's a great source for us. All right. Again, egg whites, good option. I'm not always a huge fan of limiting the yolks. If you've listened to this channel, I think the yolks are very, very important, like the egg yolks, right, are very, very important for our overall health. That's where all the nutrients are. That's where all the healthy fat is, all right? I think it's a superfood at the end of the day, all right? High in nutrients. Yes, we're going to get some fat. It's about 5 grams of fat per egg, all right? Usually not any more than that. Even like extra large eggs will have like 6 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, all right? But our egg yolk could be a trigger for reflux, acid reflux symptoms, all right? So I would stick more to the lean proteins like your chicken and turkey, all right? Things that aren't high in fat, and that's why we're going back to our beef discussion. Beef is going to be a little bit higher in fat. It's going to be a little bit tougher on the digestive system, all right? But just know that the egg yolks, all right, can be a trigger for reflux symptoms, all right? We see that through numerous studies, all right? And again, I'm not a huge fan of limiting, but if you are dealing with acid reflux symptoms, especially if you're dealing with GERD, and you know it's a trigger food, all right, that's the important thing as well. I'm not just saying cut out egg yolks altogether, all right? That might not be a trigger food for you. If it's not a trigger food, perfect. All right, we can continue to eat egg yolks, all right, because that's where all the nutrients are. That's a superfood for us. Great source of protein, the highest bioavailable protein, so you're digesting the most protein, all right, from eating eggs. The only thing that's going to be higher is something like a collagen powder or especially a whey powder, something that's absorbed super, super fast by the body, all right? I think, you know, the egg whites are the way to go if it's a trigger food, all right? If not, enjoy your yolks. Get all of the health benefits that come from eating egg yolks, all right? A lot of people will limit the egg yolks as well due to cholesterol, but we know through numerous studies that the serum cholesterol levels isn't going to be too affected from cholesterol that you are eating, all right? It's going to be more of an indication of your living a sedentary lifestyle. So serum cholesterol levels aren't affected too much for most individuals from foods that they're eating, unless you're going way overboard, all right? Like eating 12 eggs in a day, all right? Not going to have much change. It's living more of a sedentary lifestyle, living a lifestyle where we're not getting exercise, not getting that proper movement, all right? And maybe dealing with obesity, all right, or even being overweight. Flyboy, good to see you in chat. Thank you for your question here. I'm considering buying some celebrity sausage. It's made with DNA cells. It's funny, I got through half of your question. I already knew you were kidding, Flyboy. Only the celebs who have healthy lifestyles, or doesn't matter. That's so funny. Just from your questions and your knowledge that you've shown in different streams, Flyboy, I literally read two sentences of that comment, and I already knew that you were joking. But very funny. Healthy lifestyles of the celebs, in quotes. I like that. But good to see you in chat, Flyboy. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. So another one, guys, that I'll just say best foods to relieve heartburn, acid reflux, oatmeal, whole grains, all right, high in fiber, excellent source of fiber, both soluble and insoluble fiber, all right, great for breakfast. We can add blueberries and stuff like that. Great antioxidants. The other thing is there's been studies that show eating whole grains like oats, barley to a certain extent, but oats big time, all right, lower risk of acid reflux, all right, starting with that in the morning. Again, then you're having the option of good fiber, all right, good complex carbohydrates where we're not eating on an empty stomach, all right, and then reducing the amount and letting the acid in our stomach and letting the digestive juices go to work. We know there's going to be a buildup overnight, all right, so we need to let them do their job, all right. Having oatmeal with the excellent source of fiber acting as a food source for that healthy gut bacteria and healthy gut flora. I think, you know, I know from the studies, lower risk of acid reflux of GERD as well, all right. So oatmeal, whole grains can be very, very important. All right. I know, you're also getting a lot of micronutrients from whole grains. All right. But we know fiber is important. That's why we go back to our vegetable discussion. All right. That's why we go back to some of our other discussions. All right. Our vegetables especially. All right. High fiber is very, very important. All right. All right. Sometimes you'll hear people or coaches say it starts to absorb stomach acid. What it's really doing is it's just using that stomach acid to begin the digestive process. Same thing with lean proteins. All right, we need those the stomach acid and digestive juices to start the breakdown of food process. All right, it starts with the saliva, but by the time that it's down into the gut, that digestive process can start to happen. All right, is it absorbed? Yeah, maybe to some extent, but it's being used up in the breakdown of food. All right, in the breakdown of the foods that we're eating. All right, which is nice because other fiber options are helpful as well when it comes to whole grains. All right, whole grains, whole grain rice would be one. I mentioned barley already. We see through numerous studies, all right, that oatmeal and things of that nature, all right, can help with gastrointestinal problems, acid reflux, and heartburn being one of them. Rupa, those sausages will be full of Botox chemicals. Probably right, RuPaul. All right, so those are some nice ones, guys. All right, just know, all right, as well, you're putting yourself at a little bit more of an increased risk of heartburn and acid reflux. Say that you're having those symptoms right now. You're putting yourself at risk, all right, or at least increasing the chances, all right, when we avoid eating, all right, and we have an empty stomach, of increasing our risk of heartburn and acid reflux symptoms, all right. I have clients that have dealt with this, all right, especially, if you're adding acidic foods in the morning. A lot of people will drink like lemon juice, all right, lemon and lime juice, so citrus fruits. We already know citrus fruit can be a trigger food, right? A lot of people might take apple cider vinegar, coffee, all right, things of that nature, things that are higher in acidity, all right? Again, if we have an empty stomach, if we've been practicing intermittent fasting, which I think is a fine diet. I'm not saying this and taking a shot at intermittent fasting. I think if it works for you, perfect. But if you are dealing with heartburn related issues, all right, we're only accumulating more and more acid, stomach acid in the stomach, all right, that's not getting used up in the digestive process like it would be if we were having our whole grains and things like that. And that can be a time when acid from the stomach starts to travel into the esophagus, causing that burn, pain. As I already mentioned, it's not just in the chest, but also in the throat as well, all the way up. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right. Yes, intermittent fasting can be helpful for a number of different reasons. It's worked for individuals, right? But again, you're putting yourself a little bit more at risk if you are dealing with, or if you're consistently dealing with, so if it's chronic like Gerd, all right, heartburn, acid reflux, things of that nature. Seriously, this time I make 6 ingredient oatmeal squares. Nice. Rolled oats, date paste made by me. Very nice. Almond butter made. Wow, okay. I didn't know that you were the chef there too, Flyboy. Very nice. Dried cranberry, chia seeds, coconut oil. I portion them and I consume them as desired. That's good. With that type of oatmeal, very, very good. If I can just give my 2 cents on that as well, because I think you got, a lot of superfoods in there. All right. Obviously, I love chia seeds. All right. I love the oatmeal. All right. I think that's tremendous. All right. Almond butter. All right. Tremendous. So you're getting nice almonds from there. Just be a little bit careful. I know with the dried cranberries, all right, and then you already got the portion control, all right, which is nice. And then also a little bit with the date paste. I don't know exactly how you're making it, but dates, very, very healthy. A lot of health benefits. Cranberries as well, but the drying process will increase the sugar, all right. Drying like apricots, dried apricots. If you look up dried apricot nutrition, I've done this on the channel before. Let's look up dried cranberries. I haven't done that on the channel. And again, this isn't to say that you're your oatmeal is unhealthy, Flyboy. Very healthy. Like I said, it has multiple superfoods in it. Angela, good morning. I finally got a face with that voice. There you go, Angela. Exactly. KML. I'm trying to figure out what KML stands for. I'm usually good at acronyms like that. All right, but yes, finally a face with that voice. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Angela. And Angela, I know you're coming in. All right, and anyone else who's new and just coming in, Angela, the nutrition guide is completed. All right, nutrition guide, simple tips for big results. All right, 12 chapters. All right, multiple principles and multiple food lists speaking about the individual macronutrients, micronutrients. All right, breaking it down even more. All right. That's going to be available to individuals like Angela, who is a member. All right, so Angela, please email me, all right, at foodsforhealth1. If you scroll up a little bit, let me see if I can copy and paste from here. Please email me, Angela. Killing myself laughing. Okay, there we go. Please email me that, Angela, so that I can get you the guide for free for being a Fit Team member. Appreciate you. Big shout out to you, Angela. So members like Angela will be getting the nutrition guide for free. So Angela, that'll be made to you, made available. Thank you so much for your support, for joining as a Fit Team member. I want to make sure I get that out to you. So send me the email. That way I can get it to you immediately. All right. And I think you're going to enjoy it and get a lot of benefit from it, Angela. But thank you again for your support. All right, so let's just look up dried cranberries. And again, Flyboy, this is not a critique or anything like that. I just want to make sure that we're aware of the amount of the calories and what type the calorie breakdown content can be an issue. Hence, as you mentioned, portion control. Yes, I cook the dates and cranberries together and puree the mixture. That's nice. Okay, so easily added to oatmeal. Perfect. But let's just give, I know that Flyboy, you know, you're doing portion control. That's excellent. As I pointed out, portion control, very, very important when it comes to that. But for individuals, all right, I always know that they're asking me about, you know, like trail mix and things like that. They'll have dried, you know, cranberries. They'll have apricots sometimes in that. In a 100-gram serving, let's break that down even more. So, just in 40 grams, all right, if we have only a 40-gram serving, all right, so a third of a cup of dried cranberries, you're getting 33 carbohydrates and 26 grams of sugar. And that's just in 1/3 of a cup. All right, so be very, very careful when you're adding those dried fruits, guys. All right, that's a tremendous amount of sugar. All right, interesting. It's when you go through that drying process, it's the exact same for apricots and everything like that, figs and things of that nature. Dates is a nice one because it's it's like a natural sweetener. So it's nice to add. And Flyboy, the important thing is that you're using that portion control. But just know, guys, all right, like Flyboy is doing, keep it in moderation. He's practicing good portion control. I would recommend that we all do that. Raisins are another huge example. They'll add raisins to it. Raisins are off the charts when it comes to sugar intake. It's the exact same. But isn't that incredible? Just 1/3. Think about a 1/3 scoop. All right. It's hardly anything, all right, when we're thinking about dried cranberries, all right, but 26 grams of sugar. That's the amount in a can of soda, all right. So a lot of sugar being added. Just be careful. Do what Flyboy's doing and practice good portion control. And he's got all those great healthy foods in there. Good for you, Flyboy. That's excellent. Oatmeal, one of my favorite foods, to be honest with you. And trying to join, I will try again later today. I appreciate that, Eileen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And when you do Eileen, send me that email. That way I can get the book out to you. And that'd be great. I think you can get a lot of benefits from it as well. All right. And again, people ask me, I've gotten multiple emails on how to join, how to become a member. All you do is click the join button that should be, under that like and dislike, those like and dislike buttons near the subscribe button in the stream right now and under every video and live stream. and then you just click the join button, become a Fit Team member, and then you get the nutrition guide for free. 12 great chapters, spent weeks, almost months on this book, all right, and then the editing and everything like that. Created the cover myself, so a lot of work went into that. All of it, my own ideas, philosophical and practical, looking at the foods and everything like that. So I think you guys would get great benefit from this nutrition guide. The people who have read it, who I wanted to, read it and get feedback, and also the people who helped me with editing, all right, the book, all right, all great feedback from each and every single person who read it, and I wanted honest opinions, all right. The thing with me, I wouldn't put my name on it if I didn't think it would give great value. So I appreciate that, Eileen. Thank you so much for considering and trying to join. I appreciate that. Sweet cakes. I have Gerd. My symptoms are being nauseous. Absolutely. That's definitely one of them. Sometimes when I fast or eat too much sugar candy or drink wine. I want to do intermittent fasting more, but I'm worried about being sick, nauseous. Okay, that's an excellent point, Sweet Cakes. Thank you for bringing that up. All right, so again, we talked about some of our triggers, all right, things, lifestyle triggers, things that we want to avoid. All right, one can be overeating, which we mentioned. If you go back and listen, all right, like Sweet Cakes is pointing out, I mentioned overeating, all right, which is one that can be a trigger point. All right, I also mentioned sugar, like candy and things like that, and I also mentioned alcohol. All right, so Sweet Cakes wants to do intermittent fasting, right? But I am worried about being sick. Okay, so here's the thing for you, Sweet Cakes. If you're doing your intermittent fasting, all right, just be careful with your trigger foods, right? Like wine and everything, whatever it might be. I would try to cut out the alcohol as best you can, if I'm being completely honest. When I fast, I eat too much sugar, all right? So that's something, maybe fasting isn't right for you, all right? Because when I fast, if you're eating sugar, it's causing you to eat sugar. That's one of the telltale signs that perhaps it's not the correct diet for us, all right? Or maybe it's just a habit that we have that we can still break, even on intermittent fasting, so we can still use that. All right, but if we're feeling nauseous, all right, if we're intermittent fasting, all right, that's not something that we're going to deal with. So I don't believe, Sweet Cakes, that, if, you're having GERD while intermittent fasting, if you're dealing with symptoms of being nauseous, all right, it's going to be very hard for you to continue an intermittent fasting diet. Who wants to maintain a diet where you're feeling sick, all right, and nauseous all the time, and it's causing you to consume sugar, all right? So just keep that in mind. All right. Sometimes it can be a sort of a habit that we need to break. Maybe reducing the wine intake, because again, wine will have sugar in it as well. Plus, it's empty calories. Plus, it's a trigger for GERD, 100%. All right. Remember, I already mentioned, if we go back as well, all right, alcohol and smoking, all right, and probably obesity as well. But alcohol and smoking are probably two of the best things that we can do to eliminate GERD and reduce the symptoms. All right, two very, very important things. All right, you want to do intermittent fasting more, but you're worried about being sick. All right, I think we need to go into the diets that we're going to be practicing, and we need to go in with confidence. We need to know, all right, through trial and error, does it work for us? If we know it doesn't work for us, all right, if it's causing us to feel sick, all right, perhaps that might not be the diet for us. If you want to do intermittent fasting, it's something that I've definitely helped numerous people with, all right, send me an email. All right, you could sign up for a consultation, help build an intermittent fasting program, all right, and then something that works for you, all right, because there's ways to get around some of that nauseous feeling, all right, especially if you're eating certain foods, all right, and you're more susceptible, or you're already dealing with GERD, all right, if you're eating certain foods at a certain time in the day, all right, if we're not, say if we're breaking our fast with certain foods, all right, that can also make us a little bit more sick, all right, feel a little bit more nauseous, all right, if we're having like multivitamins, like in the morning as we're fasted, that can have a big effect on how we're feeling. So there's some ways, all right, that we can, sort of change that up a little bit. But, it sounds like you know your triggers, all right, which is great. So then that you can start to make changes through that trial and error principle. So good for you. That's my favorite. Yet, I'm going to break down the nutritional contents of my oatmeal squares and see exactly what amount of sugar is actually in them. I will get back to you. That sounds awesome, Flyboy. I think that's perfect. One of the things that I mentioned in my nutrition guide is knowing what goes into your body, keeping it simple. All right. If you know the sugar content, you know exactly what's going into your body. If you need to cut back, all right, then we cut back. All right. Now, you're having those cranberries in multiple, like if it's oatmeal squares, I don't know the portion, all right, but that can be big. The bigger the portion, all right, the better, because you're having less sugar per square, all right, but it's best to always know what we're putting into our body. So I think if you can break that down a little bit, break down the macronutrients, especially the sugar, because remember, we want to avoid sugar as much as possible, all right, almost at all costs, all hands on deck, sugar. All right, reduce, all right, almost to zero, all right? Just try to keep that in mind, but that sounds great, Flyboy. Good for you. Know what's going into the body. Yes, let me know, because I like that that recipe. So absolutely, let me know, my friend. Eileen, I will. Okay, perfect, Eileen. Absolutely, I appreciate that. Cut back on both. It's the holidays that sweet cakes, trust me, I work with a lot of clients. I know how the holidays can go. Absolutely, 100%. That's true. Got it. Perfect, sweet cake. Sounds like you're doing good. You know your triggers. You want to practice intermittent fasting. You know through trial and error what's working with you, what's not. That's the way to do it. And then that'll help build confidence, because you know what healthy choices you can make, what choices you don't want to make. All right. And once we can start making our healthy choices, and I talk about this in the nutrition guide if you're just coming in, all right, happy to announce that our nutrition guide is now done. All right. So nutrition guide, simple tips for big results, is now done. Breakdown of ways that we can not only start building our own nutrition diet and focusing on nutrition, but improving, all right, acting as a reminder. Breakdown of a lot of different carbohydrates, proteins, macronutrients, all right, other stuff that we might not even have thought about, all right, and a lot of principles to help you continue your diet, making lifestyle changes. Again, that's coming free to individuals like Angela, who's a member of the channel. Hit that join button, joined as a Fit Team member. Big shout out again to you, Angela. So that's awesome, sweet cakes. Yep, sounds like you're doing a great job. Damon, great to see you. To all in the chat, sending positive health vibes from SoCal. Thank you, Damon. Positive vibes to you as well, my friend. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate having you in here. Familiar faces. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate your guys' support. Sorry, again, I'm trying to drink that coffee as quiet as possible and not into the microphone. All right, so the other thing with Gerd, fruits and vegetables. Again, be careful with the fruits and vegetables. Garlic, we know, unfortunately, can be a trigger. All right, garlic can cause heartburn, and it can cause an upset stomach. All right, same thing with onions. All right, especially, all right, if they're raw. So just keep that in mind, guys, when it comes to fruits and vegetables. All right, now another nice one, all right, which we already talked about, nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds can help to reduce. These are healthy fats. Remember, we said that we want to reduce the bad fats, saturated and trans fats, and start adding in the good fats, monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, omega-3s, omega-6s. Nuts and seeds, you can get some omega-3s from walnuts. You can get them from flax seeds. A little bit in chia seeds, and also in hemp hearts. All right, so great fat sources there. You're reducing, all right, those unhealthy fats that are only going to make heartburn symptoms worse, all right, lead to GERD perhaps, so chronic heartburn. All right, chronic usually if you're dealing with it multiple times a week. All right, and you're also going to allow the stomach to start to the breakdown of our food process. All right, with those nuts and seeds, that stomach acid has to come into play for the breakdown of those healthy fats, just like it does for our lean protein sources and carbohydrates. Plus, they're a good fiber source, guys. So not only are they great in fat, but they're great in fiber as well, high in fiber. All right, so see if you can get some of those nuts and seeds. I think that can be beneficial for you. I think legumes, so beans and things like that, lentils, peas, I think are very, very beneficial. All right, for one, all right, lower in fat, which is okay because we don't always just have to add healthy fats. All right, they're a group of vegetables super high in nutrients. They're filling. They have good fiber. All right. Like if you think of beans, the fiber in black beans, kidney beans, things of that nature is tremendous. All right. So is the nutritional value. All right. So, if we're breaking a fast, all right, so say we're doing intermittent fasting, things like legumes, things with like nuts and seeds, avocados, lean proteins, I think that's a nice way to break a fast. Citrus fruits and other trigger foods can be a little bit tough, all right, and if you're dealing with symptoms of heartburn and acid reflux, all right, I think that can be a trigger food for you, but stick with some of these ones because they're higher in protein. Again, easier for the stomach to digest. I think a ginger tea is a nice way to sort of break a fast, or if you're having it in the morning after not eating all night, a ginger tea can be very helpful. Low to no caffeine in it. Again, coffee, not always mentioned as a trigger food, all right, but coffee can certainly cause an increase in acidity on the stomach as if we're drinking it on an empty stomach and in the morning. Say we haven't had anything to eat. Say we've been fasting. Even if we haven't been fasting, if you sleep, you had your good 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Maybe you didn't eat for 2 to 3 hours before you went to bed. We're going to wake up fasted. We didn't eat for, about 11 to 12 hours. Okay, so, we're going to have our stomach's going to be empty. There's going to be a buildup of stomach acid. All right, just be careful even with our coffee. Again, if you're not dealing with heartburn or acid reflux or anything like that, we don't have to be as careful. But if you are, be mindful. All right, mindful eating. Know what's going into the body. Know it's a trigger point, just like sweet cakes knows. All right, know what can be a trigger point, and then we want to, or trigger food, and then know. And make those changes, and that only comes through trial and error and through confidence. All right, know that what we put into our body can make a huge difference, all right, in the way that our body affects, all right, the way that our body works. All right, we want it to work optimally, efficiently. Sometimes certain foods just don't agree with us. All right, it goes for everyone. Sugar and sodium are big ones for me. They don't work for most people, but let's bring up another food group. Most fruits don't work well for me, like pineapple, mangoes, papaya, things of that nature. All right, things that are higher in fructose. All right, grapes. All right, can't remember the last time I had grapes. Always feel horrible if I have grapes and things like that. That's why I brought up the dried fruit sort of portion. But things like grapes, so high in higher at least in fructose and things of that nature. Same thing with papaya and mangoes, pineapple even. All right, it just does not sit well with me, even though I know that there's a lot of health benefits to it. All right, like with pineapple, you have great digestive enzymes. All right, bromelain. It can be very, very, and lots of, vitamin C, micronutrients, all of that stuff just does not work for me. So I have to get, those nutrients in other ways. All right. And I make best with berries. Those are great for me. Apples. All right. A banana from time to time is fine. All right. Things like that. Know what works for you. All right. And then you can make those changes. All right. But even if I have, even if it's pineapple, but papaya, things of that nature, all right, sometimes will lead to gastrointestinal issues and also dehydration for myself. But legumes can be very, very helpful. I think beans, lentils, peas, things like that, I think are very, very helpful, guys. All right. It's going to be nice fiber source. All right. Good source of protein since it's a meat substitute. All right. Very, very healthy in micronutrients as well. So it can be very beneficial for heartburn and for acid reflux. Hook up with onion and garlic, macadamia nuts added on from the last slide. Very nice, Damon. That's excellent. Perfect. Onion and garlic, if you're not dealing with any of these issues, onion and garlic, incredible foods. Macadamia nuts, underrated sometimes. I know I always will say I'll always recommend almonds, walnuts, things like that, but macadamia nuts also have a place, all right, in a healthy diet, all right? Great, tremendous healthy fat, good fiber, all right? High in micronutrients, nutrient dense. Just make sure we're having a moderation, but that's awesome, Damon. Good for you. I consume wheatgrass juice powder every morning. However, my fresh veggies intake is lacking. A greens powder, but I see a lot of conflicting information. Your thoughts, suggestions. Okay, that's great. Nice, Flyboy. I would consider this, all right? Wheatgrass juice powder, if you're taking that every morning, all right, that's fine. All right. I think if you're already taking that, there's no need for a greens powder. I think I would just focus on getting actual veggies into your diet. That would be my opinion. All right. Getting in fresh veggies or lightly steamed, or if we have to at first add them to different recipes. All right. But if you're already taking your wheatgrass juice powder, all right, think of your greens powder as sort of a filler, fill in the gaps of foods that we're missing out on. All right, so I wouldn't rely totally on the greens powder to make up for your vegetable intake. All right, I would try to get that 3 to 6 servings of vegetables per day. 3 can be a lot easier than we think. All right, people will always look at 3 to 6 servings and think it has to be, 3 servings of broccoli, 4 servings of broccoli and spinach. But there's a tremendous amount of vegetables that you can add to your diet. All right, I would try to focus on getting in some nice fresh vegetables in, and then fill in the gaps with like a greens powder, with wheatgrass juice powder. Remember, the greens powder is also going to have amino acids. It's going to have some enzymes and things of that nature. So sometimes probiotics, but I don't think it's a tremendous probiotic source. All right, but if you're eating healthy, like with that oatmeal and stuff like that, you're getting good protein, you're already going to be getting amino acids. You're already going to be getting good enzymes, phytonutrients, micronutrients. If you have a healthy diet and you're eating those vegetables already, you're going to be already, reaping the benefits of those healthy vegetables. So I hope that sort of makes sense. So greens powder, I wouldn't rely on, replacing vegetables. It can be sort of a filler, all right? But I would make sure that you're still focusing on that 3 to 6 servings of vegetables per day. And then if you still want to take the greens powder, you absolutely can. It can be like a supplement for yourself. But I think if you're taking in great veggies, all right, sometimes that green powder, all right, can be quite expensive. All right, you're just going to be getting a lot of the same benefits as you would from fresh veggies. All right, nice. Some nice comments. Yes, I actually haven't had lentils in a really long time, I'll be honest. But very, very, a lot of my clients, all right, huge fan of lentils. Absolutely. Nice meat alternative. Green or black tea with cinnamon sticks. My go-to in the morning, no coffee. I love that. All right, so green and black coffee with a cinnamon stick. All right, excellent, especially right in the morning. The cinnamon, another underrated spice, to be honest. How about taking... And Sonia, big shout out to Sonia, another member of the channel. Thank you so much again, Sonia. I appreciate you. How about taking a teaspoon of vinegar for acid reflux? Very interesting. All right, question. All right, here's the thing. All right, apple cider vinegar. One of the big things with apple cider vinegar, all right, promoted. Remember, I don't really believe in the weight loss benefits of, let's say, apple cider vinegar or anything like that. I do believe that it does have good benefits for digestion. The only thing is, if we're susceptible, all right, or if we're, if we have our trigger foods, sometimes apple cider vinegar can be a trigger food for acid reflux or for heartburn, all right? It just sort of depends how our body works with it. I've had clients where apple cider vinegar helped with heartburn, helped with indigestion, all right, helped with acid reflux. I've had clients where it created more, all right, just because of the acidity. All right, so it just sort of depends. I like it if it works for you, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar is just fine. Nothing wrong with that, Sonia. All right, for acid reflux. All right, it can definitely provide those benefits. We just need to see how our body reacts to it itself. All right, and again, that's going to come through trial and error. All right, try not to make any other changes to your diet. All right, see how the vinegar works for you. Apple cider vinegar works for you. If it's helping, great, we continue to take it. If not, we take it out. All right, and then we really only know that, all right, if that's the one thing that we're adding to our diet. But it can certainly provide benefits. All right, again, it's not going to be a lot of triggers for a lot of people. I think if we're taking too much or combining it with citrus, combining it with coffee, all right, then maybe it can become a little bit more of an issue. But I don't see an issue with taking, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar for acid reflux if we're not, getting those symptoms because of it. All right, I think, again, I would take it with food if you can. All right, take it with food. All right, I think that can help as well. All right, taking it on an empty stomach sometimes if we're fasted right in the morning, all right, it can be a little bit tough on the stomach. We already have a lot of stomach acid, all right, in there. If we're increasing acidity, it can only lead, all right, or has the potential to lead, all right, to more heartburn, acid reflux symptoms. So I hope that helps answer your question. To break it down, all right, yes, a teaspoon of apple, and I think a teaspoon is a good serving, all right, of apple cider vinegar. A lot of people think that you need to drink a shot of it or whatever. A teaspoon to a tablespoon, probably no more than a tablespoon, all right, is just fine. All right, a teaspoon is nice because you're not overdoing it. All right, it can definitely have benefits for acid reflux, but sometimes it can be a trigger food for some people. We need to see how our body works for it. I'd say give it a try, Sonia. All right, see how it works for you. If it works, perfect. We can stay with it. Dried fruit, too much sugar. Natural fruits, God created. Yeah, dried fruit is kind of that interesting one. A lot of people, and it. With dried fruit, you get conflicting, information out there too. Like it'll be added to trail mix, healthy, snacks, all right, cranberries, raisins, things of that nature, all right. But again, we just need to make sure that we're watching the sugar intake. So I agree with you, Angela. Thank you so much. Flyboy, no problem. My pleasure. Thanks for the question. Sounds good, Angela. Sounds good, Angela. I'm going to try green tea with a cinnamon stick. Nice. Yep, green tea and cinnamon goes very well. I think pretty sure I have a video up on the channel with green tea and cinnamon. Again, I think it's an underrated spice. I add it to my smoothies, to be honest, with a little bit of turmeric. Ceylon cinnamon, so Seylon, I believe. Ceylon cinnamon is a nice choice. They call it natural. As I say that, Flyboy, I use Ceylon cinnamon as opposed to cassia. There you go. So Ceylon, I might be pronouncing that right. I know a lot of people will pronounce it different ways, but I think Ceylon cinnamon is the way to go if you're going to be doing it. Cinnamon stick is just fine too. The important thing is you're getting your cinnamon in. A lot of health benefits, especially with green tea. That's like a antioxidant powerhouse right there. Sweet Cakes and Angela. So I hope that helped answer your question, Sonia. Lentils. Yes. I'm a big fan of lentils. I'll have a lot of people, especially who are vegetarian and, vegan, eating lentils as a, protein meat alternative. So for protein and things like that, getting in good amino acids. So making a complete protein, combining it with beans. Big fan. I drink roasted dandelion tea in the morning instead of coffee. Very nice. Good herbal tea. Natural diuretic. But yeah, I love other health benefits as well. Antioxidant with dandelion tea. So very nice. Never tried roasted dandelion tea. It sounds interesting, Sweet Cakes. Yes, it's good for you. And there you go, Flyboy. Yeah, the Ceylon cinnamon. I heard cassia has larger amounts of coumarin, which is not good for the liver. Coumarin. With cassia, if you have cassia cinnamon, I would always go with the Ceylon cinnamon if you can. All right. With cassia, yeah, you'd just be having to take quite a bit of cassia cinnamon in, all right, to negatively affect the liver, to be honest. But Ceylon is a nice one. Again, cassia is just fine in moderation. But it sounds like you're doing a good job, Flyboy, with the Ceylon. Again, both are going to give antioxidants, but the reason why I like Ceylon, antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, all right, blood sugar management and blood sugar stabilization from that Ceylon cinnamon, I think tremendous. Chase that vinegar with some spring water. Yes, absolutely. And some food preferably as well, Damon. You're absolutely right. I know some people who will take like a apple cider vinegar mix with a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of cranberry juice, non-sweetened cranberry juice. I've seen that before. Just be careful with that. If you're someone who's susceptible to heartburn and Gerd and things of that nature, be careful with that mix because it's very acidic. It can be tremendous, all right, health benefit, but if we're at risk for heartburn and things like that, all right, you're taking a fruit, so cranberries, all right, you're taking citrus fruit in the lemon juice, and you're also taking the vinegar, all right, a lot of acidity. If you're taking that first thing in the morning without any food, that can be a little bit tough on the stomach and on digestion and things of that nature. Oh, it's an organic tea bag. Very nice. Yeah. That's how I would sort of figure sweet cakes. Sorry, I thought we were talking about the green tea and cinnamon, but the dandelion tea. Yep, nice herbal tea. It's going to be a diuretic for sure. All right. But yeah, dandelion, again, underrated. All right, have a lot of videos on dandelion. I think dandelion tea, if you search dandelion tea on the channel, you will definitely find a dandelion tea video. I can picture the thumbnail. It's funny, out of almost 5,000 videos, I can still picture the dandelion tea thumbnail. You get the dandelion sitting around the glass of dandelion tea. But yeah, thank you so much for the engagement, guys. I really appreciate it, all of these questions, because we think we did a good job. Hopefully you got some good value from the heart relief. I think if there's other ones, sometimes like yogurt, like a dairy product, but we just got to be careful, all right? I think a probiotic is important, all right? Make sure that we have good gut bacteria, guys. Gut health is so important. We need good gut health, all right? Gut health is super necessary, all right, if we want to improve our overall, gut health, reduce heartburn, all right? Reduce indigestion, reduce acid reflux, all right? And then if we're having that chronically, all right, reduce Gerd, all right? I think that's super important. Make sure, all right, we're getting good probiotics in, all right? Make sure that we're having that, and again, a lot of people will get it from yogurt, all right? But make sure it says active bacterial cultures, all right? I've gotten questions, should I take yogurt and a probiotic? I don't see any as probiotic supplement. I don't see any, disadvantage to taking both, all right? There's trillions, all right, of microorganisms in our gut, all right. Getting, a good source of probiotics is super important for overall gut health. All right, we've been going strong. 2 hours and 20 minutes, about 2.5 hours, guys. I appreciate you. There's been people in here from the very beginning, right from the very start. I appreciate you guys so much, all right. Again, I just want to point, just because it's our launch date today, all right, I know I brought it up a few times, but, I'm very, very happy with it. I'm very, very happy to announce, all right, that our nutrition guide, all right, my nutrition guide, all right, is finally completed. All right, a lot of work went into this. All right, simple tips for big results. All right, again, I've put my name on it, so you guys know that I put a lot of work into this, a lot of editing. I created everything myself, from the cover page, all right, to all of the writing, all right, to editing and things like that. Had some help with the editing, but I was also editing big time on the editing, made all the editing changes myself. All right, so everything from this guide is coming from me, coming from my own mind, and coming from the research and practical experience I've gotten from working with hundreds of clients, and at this point maybe thousands of consultations. All right, and I couldn't be more proud and happy. All right, again, it's going to be coming free to Fit Team members, those individuals who hit the join button. All right, greatly appreciate you. Not only are you supporting the channel, but you're going to be getting a nice free nutrition guide. All right, I think it's great for anyone who's starting their nutrition journey, anyone who's looking for tips. All right, but I also think you guys will find in this book, all right, our philosophical approaches and mindset changes to creating a lifestyle change and creating a nutrition plan that works for you, and how to build that nutrition plan. All right, and again, that will come for individuals for free who are Fit Team members. And if you're a Fit Team member, please email me at foodsforhealth1@gmail.com so I can get you a free copy. Again, it's going to be available to everyone, but you're going to get it at a discount price as a Fit Team member. Again, I couldn't be more happy. I love the picture that's on there. I actually created that picture myself. I think me and Rupal, we were talking about next stream, I'm probably going to use it as the background. If my face isn't on stream, I'll use it on the background as a background there so you guys can actually see the picture. But very happy with the nutrition guide. I hope you guys will take a chance, read it. All right, I think there's lots to gain from it. Great value. And again, clicking that join button is the way to get it for free. And then it's also available. It's going to be available multiple sources. All right, if you are interested in it, again, send me that email at foodsforhealth1@gmail.com. I can make sure that I show you how it's available. It's going to be on Amazon, bunch of different places. So just want to make sure that's out there. All right. All the support that you guys have given me, I truly appreciate it. That's why Fit Team members will be getting it for free. Also, I appreciate it. Any support through our super chat function. You guys know who you are. All right, individuals who have given through the super chat function, appreciate you as well. Appreciate the support, and I appreciate all of you guys. All right, coming in here on a Wednesday morning, talking about ways to relieve heartburn. All right, ways to relieve acid reflux and Gerd. All right, so very happy to release and launch the nutrition guide. All right, again, I think you guys will get a lot of benefit from it. 12 chapters. So again, it's not a super quick read, all right, but it's not inundating also, all right? It's keeping it simple, staying to the basics, and making sure that you get the best benefit, all right, that we can. All right, thank you for the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate that. All right, and that's what the goal was. The goal was keeping it simple because, you know, there's so much information out there when it comes to nutrition, but we need to stick to the basics, all right? And then the mindset changes, working with, you know, hundreds of clients, all right, we're doing consultations, seeing what works for people and what doesn't work, all right, accountability and consistency, things of that nature, all right, keeping things simple, all right, all important ideas that you're going to find in this book. Congratulations once again. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. It was kind of my pet project for the last month or two, couple months. And again, I like to consider it as a condensed sort of book from all of this research and work that I've done, putting videos up for the last 9 years, 10 years, all right, and continuing from there. My ideas and from these live streams. Hundreds of hours of live streams now at this point. It's early here in Seattle, but it's worth it. Thanks. My pleasure, Flyboy. Thank you for coming in. I know it's very early. 6:23 a.m. for you. You're in here at 6 a.m. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. So I will end the stream there. Again, thank you for all the support. All right. I would love if you guys read the nutrition guide, gave it a chance, learn, all right, some of the valuable principles and approaches in there. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for all the support. I hope you guys got great value. Shout out to our members, Angela and Sonia, who are in chat today. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone else. All right, and big shout out to everyone else who is in here. Damon, Sweet Cakes, Flyboy. Should let me scroll up a little bit. Eileen, thank you so much. Rupal, everyone else who is in here. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Glad to announce that the nutrition guidebook is out. Send me an email if you're interested. All right. Again, very, very happy with how it came out. Couldn't be more happy. Again, I would not put my name on it if I was not confident that it could provide you guys value. So thank you so much, guys. I will talk to you at least at the very latest, all right, on Sunday. Christine in here from the very beginning. Thank you so much, Christine. Appreciate you. Good to see you today. Thanks, Christine. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you, Sweet Cakes. I appreciate it. Have a great day as well. Everyone else, have a safe, happy day. I will talk to you again, like I said, at the latest on Sunday. And it might be before. If it is, then I'll put up a reminder. If not, all right, we'll definitely talk on Sunday. To all, stay strong, be well. All right, thank you, Damon. You as well. And thank you to everyone else. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming into the stream today. Started nice and early. Got the face on. Got all the technology working. The cam, the microphone. All right, everything coming out well here. So thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Sonia, have a good day. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you guys, all right, next time. Be on the lookout for more videos, of course. Rupal, my pleasure. Have a good day as well. Stay safe. Stay healthy. All right, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.